Went to a waterfall
get me
and
going.
had a great time. Spent 2 hours. I was tired, and I just climbed up this fucking mountain to try to scare them and be Bigfoot.
Yeah.
When the time I got up that motherfucker and then down that summit, I was rolling boulders, and then I didn't get the result I wanted.
Yeah.
So I was pouting, and they said, "Oh, we're going to this swim hole, some swimming different." They went one way, we went the other. So, and I got home, took a nap. When I got that nap, I woke up and everybody's still gone. I'm leaving.
This is my time. This is my time.
You can't leave without telling everybody goodbye. Come on, man. They happen all the time.
No, that was smart. Because if you would have left and had to tell Reid bye.
Oh, yeah. Mongo would have had to go with me.
We have 1,200 acres that we're staying on that we rented a house on in Maine. 1,200 acres. They got bears and moose. I'm going to go walk around and look at shit. And that will make me so good.
Still won't
Take
be
that
big.
buoy now.
That's right.
I
Here
wish
we
I had
go.
my deal. All right.
And if your headphones are too loud, I can burn out.
No, they're doing good.
The government cheese. All you gotta do is tell the truth. Speak truthfully. All you gotta do. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by... Did you screw with my sound?
I don't know.
Messed up. Double T British Kennels. If you need a lab, place to go, pet, hunting dog, whatever, started dog, holler at Corey at Double T British Kennels. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
That's me.
World-famous. Big time.
That's right.
Got that Father's Day giveaway coming on with that autographed picture of you?
Yeah.
Can't wait. Got a good
I
picture.
ought to do one of Clay. That's what we got to do.
Guy.
Huh?
I thought Chad was the big famous.
Diva Lover 159.
Diva Lover 159 on YouTube. Check him out. He does shout-out videos. There's
right.
a free plug.
For a small fee, like
$20.
Bad Chad.
packet of Skittles.
With us today from Florida. Where in Florida do you live?
Fort Walton Beach.
Fort Walton Beach.
Yeah, that's right by
They shut the beach down for
They
shark
did.
attacks.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I saw that.
Have
Took
y'all-
that old lady's
They're
arm.
everywhere. Like
Yeah.
they're by the thousands.
Yeah, and
Like,
the
it ain't one or
Floridians
two.
that like are actually from there, they're like, I've never seen anything like this. It's
Well,
crazy.
Jeff said last week that it's supposed to be a big hurricane season
Yes.
because the
Yeah.
Atlantic's so warm. I wonder if that's why the sharks are so bad this year.
Water
I don't know,
temperature's
that's
got a lot
a
to do
good-
with it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I know on the East
I
Coast.
know exactly why.
Why?
Because it's the fucking ocean. And wherever there's ocean,
God.
there's sharks in it.
But you're right about that.
Exactly.
There's 100%
I
right
said
on
That's
that.
why I don't go to the fucking ocean.
I saw on the East Coast, they have a problem with these whales going on shore now, and they think it has to do with the offshore windmills. They think it's fucking the whales up. So the liberals are going to have to make a real tough decision. Kind of like the confused poor gay people on Pride Month. Can't forget Pride Month now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But the Pride Month guys, they got a real problem because they don't know what to do. Are they for Palestine or not against Palestine? Because
them motherfuckers can't even spell Palestine, much less fucking
Look at them all up there.
I'm telling
Those
you,
are
I'll
all
watch
sharks.
that.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of a shitty video.
they won't
but-
bother you.
Yeah,
Fuck it. They got 3 people
Andy,
yesterday.
you're a Navy SEAL almost. You're a scuba diver
Yeah,
now.
you need to go to this one guy that's got a TikTok, and he's a guide out there.
Yeah.
He's a fishing guy, and he's telling you the truth. He said, all
Don't
these
go.
motherfuckers won't tell you the truth around here. Don't swim in the fucking waters
He
up
said,
there.
"Go to the lakes and the rivers."
Yeah,
he said, "Don't swim in the ocean."
Yeah,
here
you
right
seen
now."
it. Yeah, he said,
He
said all these guys, they don't want to tell you that because they want your money down here along the beach.
Did they shut down the beaches at Fort Walton and Destin both, or just at Fort Walton Beach?
Fort Walton, I'm not so sure. That's where the shark attack and everything was Panama City, which is Walton County, and then Fort Walton's Okaloosa County. But I mean, that whole stretch of like the Emerald Coast, as they call it, they probably did. I know they were flying a purple flag, which means like dangerous marine life.
Would you get in the water if you still with your family at the beach there? Because I
No,
would.
but I don't get in damn water now.
Well,
It's
you're because
like-
Clay's
Picked out from
daughter.
Clay.
Well, yeah, thanks. Love that.
I would still get in the
Common
water.
sense.
Yeah.
Common sense.
But I mean, I'd probably get like my feet in or up to my knees. But I also have 3 little kids, 7 and under. So water activities are not as fun as they used to
That'd
be.
be
You
like,
know what I mean?
hey, we got this park up here, and it's got bears in it. All right, let's go play at the park. Why the fuck would I want to go to play at a park that's got bears in it? Grizzly bears that'll eat you.
I think the thing that also gets me is like riptides.
That would be
They're-
more, I would be more worried about a riptide or a freaking jellyfish than I ever would
Yeah.
worried about
I
a
got
shark.
in one of those in the Bahamas.
A
A
riptide?
jellyfish or
No,
riptide?
fucking riptide.
Gotta
And
let it take you.
I had Jameson with me, and we were only in about nipple deep water. And he had a life jacket on, thankfully. But like the waves would come, and I'd like
Yeah.
lift him up and all this shit. And like I was getting tired anyway, so we were coming in, and I couldn't fucking move. Like it was pulling me out, and somehow because you got to swim parallel to the
Yeah.
beach, and I got out of it just enough to where we could get up to the beach. But there was about 10 seconds in there where I was like, God damn, I
Yeah.
got my kid out here.
Take a hint. Everything in that son of a bitch.
It's trying to push
you know,
you.
there's one son of a bitch that didn't take a hint, and that's that crocodile hunter.
That's right.
And look at that son of a gun.
It's true.
Would you go to a whorehouse though?
No.
If you were single.
If I was single,
Yeah.
I have been single and I've never been to a whorehouse.
He ain't got to pay for it. He's Johnny Clay Reid.
I'm not
Hell,
talking about
goddamn
paying
right,
for
man. I got too much game to go to a whorehouse.
Oh god.
it. So Haley, as the daughter of Clay Reid,
Yeah.
now you're from the first wife, correct? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His practice wife, as he calls her. Yeah.
I was not going to use that
Yeah,
term,
yeah.
but you did bring the practice wife. I think the practice
He
wife
says it enough,
is
yeah.
it's one of the best terms there is. We're not allowed to say that when Clay's on here no more. But you brought it up, so that opened up the dialogue where we can use that word. I have more people that tell me about that. Man, we need to have him talk about the practice wife. I know he's not going to, but I love that you brung that up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're from the practice wife
yeah.
then. Okay.
Yeah. My mom's name was Brandy.
Okay. And then you have your older brother. Are you, you're the second.
Yep.
Jake?
So it's Jake and me
Okay.
are from my mom, Brandy. And then Dawson, Lindy, and then Ace are from Kelly Jean.
Okay. That okay. So we're on the same page then. What was it like having Clay Reid as a dad? Because I know Clay's had to have embarrassed you sometime in
Oh
his
my
life.
God, all the time.
All the time. Not
All
not
the
just
time.
part time.
Yeah, all the time. He would come up. We would be at softball tournaments, and he would walk up with like weird limps and stuff, and
Weird lip.
and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, yeah, he would just do anything to.
I do.
What's the
Embarrass
most
me.
truly embarrassed? What's the most embarrassing thing he's ever done to you? Truly that he embarrassed you about?
Mortifies you today.
Mortified?
That you just look back now and you're like,
Probably
I
that
cannot-
impression he just did.
Yeah.
No, I mean nothing really, because I expect it out of him. I'm like, yeah, I saw that one coming.
So there's nothing he does that embarrasses you.
No, not yet. I mean, I don't know. Nothing that's coming to mind at least. But
We've got a client, Pete Peterman, and you've never met Pete. Pete's a wonderful man, but he is the most vile, disgusting person I've ever known in my entire life. Is that fair? Say Andy? And he's a good friend of. I mean, he is a legit someone that is that's I consider family. But he is the most vile. And his daddy told me when his daddy was like 85 or 86, he said, "Oh shit, Pete's fucking disgusting," and he would embarrass the shit out of his parents and anywhere he'd go and his kids. But they don't pay no attention to him. But so I know Clay is. There's had to be something Clay has done that you're like,
I wasn't too bad.
not with us, like as kids. But he would tell us some stories, and I would just be looking at him like,
Yeah, I used to do some stuff. But like I say, I don't really.
I think you told the doo-doo on a stick story.
Now telling stories is probably where I've embarrassed her more than any.
Yeah,
any-
because I'll be
doo-doo
like,
on the
Yeah.
stick.
The one that you told us?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he'll tell those stories, and mind you, I'm like daddy's
Around
little
this circle,
girl.
it ain't that-
I'm like, my dad's the coolest guy ever. He's, he used to be a rodeo clown, and now he's a cowboy. And then he'll tell a doo-doo on the stick story, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Exactly.
You
What
did
you
that?
just say?
I'm like, you did that? Yeah. And then,
Now your husband's a fighter pilot.
yeah, he is.
I appreciate his service and what he's doing. So, when your husband, I'm assuming to go to fight, he went to the Air Force Academy, right?
Yeah, he did.
Very sharp kid, very disciplined.
Very, yeah.
I bet he was in total shock the first time he came to the Reid house.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay,
It
here's an
was,
embarrassing story now. I can
yeah.
tell.
Well, I feel like dad fell in love with him and then was like, James can stay in the family, but like, if anything ever happens, like,
Yeah,
you're
for
the one
me-
that's going to
you're-
leave.
For me,
Yeah,
it's
we're
like,
keeping
hey,
James.
I got
Yeah,
a
yeah,
registered.
we're keeping James.
I got a registered Hereford badass Bringer bull fixing to be in there. Yeah, on my couch.
Actually, you know what? That shit right there, that might be one of the most embarrassing things because he just has that like rancher mind. And like, I'll tell friends now, being a
Called
military
hybrid
spouse,
vigor.
being a military spouse now, I'm meeting people from all over. You'll tell them a story and then they're like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, that's not really normal for y'all, I guess. Like when I was about to have Ellie, my first, he was like, she's about to calve any day now. I was like, I'm like your daughter, right? Like, so when James first, he was at the academy, and we met through mutual friends when he was home on a Christmas break, and when we first started dating, I have like. I'm like, you got to go over here and you got to meet my mom. And then you got to go over here and meet my dad and Kelly. And you got to go over here and meet Nan and Papa. Everybody's asking. And then everybody's like, hey, I saw this one car in town. It's an outsider. Anybody know whose car this is? And then Dad has to tell him it's my little girl. She's dating somebody. And they met and brought him over. And
Big high price Hereford bull,
Yeah.
So your dad was in love with him more than you were at first.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, he's like a hometown hero in Wichita Falls, and so in track and field and football.
When the Reids are involved, anything that ain't a crackhead is reason to celebrate.
Yeah, I know, right? And so he was I feel like he was kind of like, don't mess this up for us, Haley.
Fuck this
Don't
up,
mess
man.
this
You
up.
fuck
Yeah.
this up, we're going to have
Yeah.
a problem.
And so
Reid's name is at stake here.
I
Yeah.
had been working on her earlier to a kid named Brylan McCoy that was younger than her.
Bringing up the old boyfriend.
no, this is Dawson's childhood best friend.
I'm trying to do my diligence for the town.
Right, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he told Brylan, Dawson's my little brother, 3 years younger than me, 8th grade, going into a freshman, was like,
Stud football
hey,
player.
Brylan. He was going to Ryder. Why don't you come over here in Archer City? I'll have Haley date you. And like, unbeknownst to me and everything. And then I see Brylan at the house one day in the summer, and he was
How
like,
you doing?
your dad said we could date.
And he was a
like-
freshman and you're a senior.
He's like, yeah, an 8th grader going into a freshman year, and I'm going to be a senior. And I was like,
Punching
Brylan.
up. Punching
Oh,
up a
yeah,
weight
he
class.
thought he had game deluxe.
And he's been like my little brother. I've
Right.
watched this little kid grow up and everything. So, yeah. But, so he really liked James.
I don't know why anybody, no offense, you're a
No.
pretty girl. I don't know why anybody want to date you because of your dad.
Dude.
I could see where boys would really be wouldn't you be scared to death?
Yeah, the switch is
you know,
at,
I don't give a shit if you got in a car naked. No offense, Clay, it's your daughter, but I'm just telling you right now. If you got in a car naked
Get
at
out.
17 years old, you'd be like, listen,
You're gonna have to go.
as much as I'd like to touch you, I don't want your dad touching me. So you're gonna put your shit back on, and we're going home.
Well-
We're gonna stop off at church on the way even.
I stopped telling people like who I was for a little while because we would go to parties, and and then Cooper and Charlie would be like, "That's Clay Reid's daughter."
Alert, a red
And
flag.
I'd be like, "Shut up, shut
So
up."
people got nervous at parties because you were Clay's daughter.
Yeah.
When
and
I was
then-
in high school, we'd go to parties and we'd get nervous if Clay was there. So I understand what you're talking
yeah.
about.
Well, and not just Dad, but Jake too.
Yeah, Jake
And-
was probably worse than I was.
Yeah, he was because he was, the older protective brother, like classic.
And he had a very, very short fuse. I don't
yeah,
know where he
yeah.
got that from, but
Yeah, it was weird, huh?
he was.
But,
Shorter than yours?
Yeah.
Huh?
Shorter than yours, you think?
Well, and I don't think there was ever when I was that age. But he's pretty close. He's close raised. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, yeah.
So you didn't date this 8th grade boy, and you
No.
you met the pilot, and
Yeah.
he was already at the Air Force Academy when you met him.
Yep, he was, and he was a freshman there, and then
So hold on now.
Yeah.
The first Christmas, y'all have the switch fights. Is that at Christmas? How
Oh,
how did
yeah.
he handle the first switch
well,
fight?
it was actually a little while before he was in for one because he played football,
Yeah.
and so we did it at Thanksgiving actually
Yeah, he
for
was always playing
several
football.
years, and then he was always playing football, so he didn't get to come home for Thanksgiving. But the first one, I made him sit. I was like, "You're sitting out," because at this time he's
I would
like,
be more than happy to sit out.
You need to watch
well,
the
he had
intensity.
this pilot slot and to go to pilot training and everything, and I was like, "Dude, you get
Right.
hit in the eye, like
That's-
you're done." And
Your daughter has got common sense
well,
too.
I also didn't have to talk him into that. He was
That's
also
'cause
like,
we
he was
always
also
did
like,
it in
"I'm
the
sitting
middle of the
out."
day. Now, if we'd have done it after 7 when she started drinking, she turned into her dad. So
Okay.
it would have been.
I don't know about that, but yeah, but he was also saying like, I can't do this. And Derek Lacey's my
Yeah,
aunt,
he wouldn't have no part
he
of
was
that.
sitting out too, but
He's not
yeah, those
switch
are-
fault.
So did
Like, welcome
did
to
he
the
finally
family.
join in on one of these switch fights?
no, but we hadn't really been able to come back on when they did one.
He's laughing his ass off
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. Well, I've been smart enough to avoid
Yeah.
that shit. He's trying to outlive your ass because he's hoping when you're gone, it's all over.
Dude, I'm still trying to get an exemption right now. There's got to be an age restriction on this fucking deal.
You started
You're the one who started it. Yeah.
It's Festivus for the rest of us.
And I keep saying, hey, over 50, you're exempt. And then they have it, and fuck it, let's do it. Yeah.
How old were you your
Hang on,
first
but-
switch fight?
I haven't had one. It's always been the dudes.
Yeah, it's always guys.
Always.
Yeah.
Always a man deal.
Now, your sister's pretty competitive, and she's a good athlete.
Lindy, yeah. Oh,
Can
yeah.
you whoop her ass?
I don't know. I've never fought Lindy.
Who'd win that fight, Clay?
I wouldn't have a fucking clue.
Who do you think would win?
I gotta go home with both of these.
I think, no. I think
Yeah.
that Lindy is, you've seen that meme of like a
Lindy's one
princess
of them
and Harley
closet
Quinn.
killers.
Yeah.
Closet
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
Dad is like always said, he was like, these are my two daughters. There's the like princess and there's like Harley Quinn. I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
That's
that.
about the way it is.
But I think that, closet killer, I could see that too. But
yeah.
Is she a scrapper, though, or is she not a scrapper?
well, no, because when she played basketball for a little bit, I was like, elbow that girl in the nose, and she won't do that again.
I don't think she
that's
has
what Dad.
a mean bone in her body.
Yeah, she's too much like Kelly Jean. That's where the different mamas come in.
Yeah, that is totally
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Well, Kelly Jean will throw down too in
Yeah.
the right circumstances.
Well, and
but,
Dawson will too. He's got
but comparing
Kelly
the
was
two.
probably the meanest son of a bitch I ever seen.
But I'm 10 years older than Lindy, so
That makes a big difference, too,
Yeah.
your maturity level. But
Yeah.
she
So-
seems to be very mature.
She
it seems
is.
like, is Clay's kids, the younger
Yes.
kids,
Yes.
no offense, Clay, but they seem to be better kids. No offense
No,
towards you, but they
no,
seem to be
we've
more
said this.
disciplined. As
No,
they-
we have said this.
Yes.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. The toughest animal in America is the firstborn child of a redneck father. Because
Yeah.
he don't have a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
clue
I think you're
how
right.
to be a father. So after each kid, okay, you got a handbook by the time you get to
Yeah.
that last one of shit you do and don't.
Yeah.
So they've had privileged lives. But it's like they never had, Ace and Lindy, we were talking about this the other day. They never had to bail and wire the door shut in the Astro van
Oh, yeah,
and crawl
yeah.
through the back.
Yeah.
They had to go to the back. They didn't have the poor.
They grew up with the luxury of having a little bit of money.
Exactly.
Yes.
We
Truly.
actually
Yes.
had, we were making $1,000 a month back then, and
Like-
totally different.
Jake and I are, I don't know, like 20 months apart in age, and then Dawson and I are 3 years apart. So and then between Dawson and Lindy, I guess it's 7 years. So in that 7 year span, like a lot of stuff changed in his career wise and everything.
I
And
got a real job.
like we
real
told
good
Lindy about that Astro van, and I was like, yeah. And then we had the front door wouldn't work either, so we all, even the driver, had to crawl through the back, and then
Through the
and she
back
was like
door.
looking at us like, what?
So you grew up a poor white trash family, is what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of.
And I
Well,
love that fucking van. Charles loved that van.
I love that van.
Charles, we took that some bitch Charles Steele. We took that's what we loaded all of our ass up there to Pampa to play softball in. But reason we loved it because it didn't have that safety latches now that'll. You
Oh.
can't open a door when it's going down the highway. This some bitch here, we would me and Charles be hanging out, two fat bastards hanging out the side of that some bitch going with beer bottles trying to hit signs, and then we
Yeah.
graduated from signs to cows, and then went from cows to people on the golf course with trying to throw beer bottles.
Cyclists.
And the whole time we could hear that music and dum da 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 dum da da da. Turn around, we missed them. We got to go back again.
Do any of your children have any of your dad's tendencies in them? Have you noticed?
Reid.
Mongo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mongo
shot
is-
myself in the foot naming my son Reid.
Uh,
And
But I call him
My
Mongo.
dad used to have a saying about a dog. You never name a dog after someone that's not good. Because he said it'll bite you in your ass every single
Yeah.
time.
yeah, he's more of the wild man, and then he's got some wild man
And that
tendencies.
son of a bitch gonna be a stud. It's some bitch.
it's that breeding stock.
Oh, I'm telling you, hell yeah, that hybrid vigor is coming through that son of a bitch. Because I mean, he's got that goddamn Cro-Magnon man, and he goddamn little muscled up little bit. And the best thing about it is he loves
grandson.
his pawpaw. That motherfucker, wherever he's my shadow. If you watch my TikTok videos that I put on there the other day, you will see on every little insert, he'll be like, "Hey, Pawpaw, where you at? Hey, Pawpaw, you still there? Hey, Pawpaw, he don't leave."
Now, how old is he?
4.
4 years
Yeah.
old. Ooh, that's at age 2, boy. That's where they really get. So you need to let him stay with you for Christmas break for a week or two.
Oh yeah, me and him, we fucking
Yeah.
we would be in.
Now,
He's something else.
your husband, He played defensive end in college. What did he play?
Linebacker.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
Good athlete, big guy.
Yeah.
What kind of planes he fly?
Now he flies the F-35 for the Air
Ooh,
Force.
big time
But used
ride.
Yeah, he
to-
went from like the oldest to the
Yeah.
newest.
So used to he flew the F-15C, which was like made in like the 70s.
Tom Cruise flew it and freaking
It wouldn't be. Yeah. It
yeah,
wouldn't
from the
surprise me.
original Top Gun type.
Oh,
movie.
really?
I think it was a F-15s.
It was old though. Like his grandpa had flown it.
So,
like back in the day.
but now he's flying the F-35. That's the
Yeah.
brand new one. That's the one that hovers like a helicopter.
Well,
also,
no, that's I think I don't know anything about planes, but I think that's one for the Marines.
But
the
that's-
F-35, but for the Marines, there's
Okay.
like A, B, and C.
okay. So he's
and
on
his
just a
is-
regular top plane.
Yeah, for the Air Force, I don't think it hovers.
Would you fly with him, Clay, in the F-35?
We can't.
Would you?
Yeah.
You wouldn't bother you at all?
You won't get on a regular plane, and you're gonna.
Yeah.
You're the most car
I
sick.
love flying. I just don't like. I told you when we was coming over here, I just can't stand sitting for that long.
And like pulling the G's and stuff. You got a bad back.
No, that shit don't bother me.
I would love to see Clay at F-35 because they would make you puke, shit your pants, and pass out on the first lap or two.
I ain't never.
What does it do?
puked
Does
in
it
my
You
push-
life.
would. I'm
Does it
telling
just
you.
push your blood away from your head? Is that why you
Yeah.
pass
fucks
out?
you up.
So you have
Yes.
to like breathe a certain way because all your blood goes to your legs, and so there's like a G suit that they wear that like puffs air into your legs to like keep it from going.
And they pull like
I think,
6 or
don't-
7 G's on that. My youngest son got to fly. I think he got to fly in one the other day. And he was on a joint deal, and he's in the military active. But got to,
Oh, okay.
But I think he flew at the Italian Air Force. But I think he flew in an F-22 maybe. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know
okay.
what he. But I know that there's a whole lot more to it. And it'll make
Yeah.
you sick, and there are a lot of guys pass out. Like, it's just a tough fucking deal because you're not used to putting your
Yeah,
body through
and-
that shit.
Yeah, and some of them
Oh,
don't
yeah.
fucking with them at all. I've seen reporters get on there and fucking run them and didn't bother them a goddamn
Hmm.
bit. Now the next guy who's throwing up on just take off.
I don't know if I'd throw up, but I'd probably pass out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I pass out on a roller coaster.
Yeah, that's a lot of G's them suckers
Yeah.
go. Here we go.
It like pulls their face down,
There they go.
ages them.
This right here is what Clay shits, and then he pukes, and then he passes out right there.
Right.
So
They're
see,
going
she's like,
limp
breathe.
and they're gone. See ya.
Snap your neck around a little bit. That'll feel good.
There's nothing
With
about
us?
that that looks like it'd be fun.
Are you with us? Are you with us? Come back. Come back to the light. You can
Hope
do
that's
it.
not the motherfucker driving.
It is. Yeah.
That was a hard. So
I think it's called G-Lock.
you dated him when he was going to flight school because
Well, I dated him at the academy.
and then after that he went to flight
And then
school.
pilot training in Enid, Oklahoma Advance. And then I was going to school at MSU in Wichita Falls. And then he finished pilot training and he was doing a different training there at Shepherd. And his parents live in Wichita Falls, so he got to like stay there. And then we got married in June, like 2 weeks after he finished that training at Shepherd. And we like packed the car up and Monday I changed my name and my license and everything, and we went to Oregon for his training for the F-15C.
So did the only things I've ever known on or that I would have any kind of connection to is the show Officer and a Gentleman. They went that was fighter training, and so they went up to somewhere in the Northeast and they did it. Was it that's an extremely hard thing to get through, isn't it, to get into fighter pilot school?
Yeah, and I can't remember the numbers of the people in his class. Say there were like 7 or 8 people in his pilot training class. They put you on a track to go like bomber or cargo or fighter or whatever it may be, and maybe like one of the 7 or 8 will get fighters.
Yeah,
So,
they wash a lot out.
Yeah.
Did he now when he retires, is he wanting to be a commercial pilot? Because a lot of commercial guys, and they're hiring people left and right, and they're paying really
Yeah.
good money, are ex-military guys.
Yeah.
But it would be fucking boring as hell flying American Airlines 757 after you're flying a damn F-35.
Yeah. I don't know. He takes it assignment by assignment. We know a lot of pilots that definitely have the long-term goals of like, I want to do this and be this and all those things. But James has never really been that dude, which good for me
Is he
because
a captain now?
he's a major.
He's a major.
Yep.
So he's way up the rank, making good money.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
And he's got, so you don't think he'll get out after his time's up? You think he stays extra long?
I don't know because, and switching over to the 35 from the 15C that's hard. And like, he's an older dude now, and you got to go through all that training over again. So he started the training last August, and he just finished beginning of May to fly the 35. So it's really, so I would think he'd probably do like one more assignment or something. But I think by this time, for fighter pilots at least, you have like 10-year commitments. I think this is correct. I'm sure.
Trust me, somebody will correct us on here all the time. Yeah.
On every little bit.
It won't be me.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. But they have like longer commitments because they put all this work and money into your training.
Of course.
You don't get those little 4-year commitments and everything. So I think after this assignment, we're in Florida till 2027. And then after that, he's got to pretty much say like, okay, I want to stay until 20. I want to get out, or I want to go Air National Guard type thing. So, but he's just kind of winging it in terms of.
You imagine strapping yourself onto something that flies 1,200 miles an hour or whatever it is, that you can blow up the whole fucking world with the weapons they have on there. And there's sometimes he's probably running a hot rig that's got everything on it. You imagine him that kind of fucking power?
No, because all I can think about is all that fucking book work you got to go to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
It gives me a headache thinking about it.
Think about the kids in World War II that become P-51s, which was cutting edge at the time. They took a kid off a combine, and if he was fucking smart and had some balls and could do it, he was flying a fucking P-51 in a year, fighting the Germans and everybody else. I mean, that's just crazy that now you have to have a freaking college degree and do everything to fly as technologically as they are.
Or you can be like my boy. When James graduated up there at Enid, Oklahoma, from his training up there, his dad is the flight instructor guy at Shepherd Air Force Base. So he got us we could go in the flight simulator up there at Enid, so we could do it. So he gets me in that fucking deal. Well, I ain't got a goddamn clue, and it ain't 2 seconds. And I mean, it's cool as shit. You get down there, it's like you're in this jet, and it's got a live screen, and we go over to Archer City, and I'm watching goddamn Kelvin Green over the track, and I'm like, man, this is fucking cool. And but of course, I wreck immediately. I ain't got a fucking clue. But then old Dawson, my boy Dawson, he gets in that motherfucker, and he takes off. Woo, and old Jim's back behind him. He's running that simulator. And he says, okay, da-da. And he takes off, just picture perfect fucking deal. And then he goes over there and he flies over Archer City just like he did me. He goes, all right. He's up in the task on Dawson all the time. I said, all right, now we're going to drop into the Grand Canyon. So, all right. He said, we'll fuck him up. Now we're gonna fuck. So old Dawson, he drops down that Grand Canyon. He's going like 600 mile an hour, and and Jim keeps looking at me, and I'm going, "The fuck you looking at me for?" He goes, "You don't even understand, do you?" He said, "No." And he goes, "All right, now drop down to something altitude." He's trying to get him to wreck.
Yeah.
Fucking Dawson's mashing this. He's woo, 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 going all down these canyons. It's just like he's in fucking down here. Jim looks at me again. I said, dude, what the fuck are you looking at me for? He goes, all right, Dawson. He said, I want you to go in a vertical climb just as hard and fast as you can. Old Dawson. He goes up, he goes up, he goes up, and he goes, poof. Then you flame out. And, of course, I don't know any of this, but Jim's in my ear telling me, whoo, he flames out. So then the fucking plane, Dawson adjusts his flaps and does all this, does over there, and he pushes the damn eject button. No, Jim looks at me again. Quit fucking looking at me, dude. What are you fucking looking at here? He goes, man, he looked down at Dawson. He goes, Dawson, how did you learn to fly like that? And he goes, oh, I got this on Call of Duty. I run this all the time. He goes, y'all don't understand what he just did. He just scored higher than 22 of the guys that just graduated down there at fucking Shepherd. He goes, you ever thought about being a pilot? Nah, I'm a water guy.
I'm a water
guy. That's that video game life, though. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Guys are flying drones right now.
Exactly.
In Clovis, New Mexico, in a building about like this probably, and they're flying shit over in the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
And it's the mentality. That's.
But then there's also guys like me that get around.
Yeah, I'd be screwed if I had to fly a plane also. That's interesting. So you never get to go up in any of this stuff ever?
No, legally, like they can't. I mean, if
Oh, you went up there and watched them in that fueling that one time.
oh well, yeah. So I did a taxi, which is
that was
like
pretty cool.
when we lived in Oregon, I got to sit in the back seat, and they said, I don't know how fast, like you can taxi, which is like on the runway, like you're about to take off to so many miles per hour, whatever that is. And I was expecting us to go pretty far. We went like 2 seconds and had already gone that fast, and that's it. And we were going back, and I was like, that was it.
That's it.
And
Pretty
so,
anticlimactic.
yeah, and so I got to do that. And then when we were in Okinawa this last time, I got to ride in the tanker that they like refuel at, and I got to watch him like come up and refuel with the little
Yeah, your
thing.
old dipsticks hanging out.
and it's like this big.
wild how
You can
they
like
do it.
see down there this clear thing, so you get to like sit down there and watch her, the old gal that was doing it and everything. She was talking to them and telling him how to line up with the, because it's just like literally out of the tanker like a little stick, and there's like the littlest thing that they got to like line up with, and I'm like, it was really kind of eye opening because every day he's like, all right, I'll see you later. I'm like, okay, have a good day at work.
Right.
You know, you're really desensitized to it. And then I was sitting there watching him, I'm like, you really fucking do this every gosh damn day? And I'm fucking grocery shopping and picking yogurt.
He got better into that deal, huh?
Tying shoes and stuff. I'm like, you're really pretty cool, dude. Yeah.
So you lived in Okinawa?
Yeah, twice.
Did
We
you-
lived there, yeah.
I
Did
got
you like living?
I got 2 Jap grandbabies.
Do you
Oh,
like?
you have one, Ellie. Archie was born in Florida.
Yeah, but Mongo,
Oregon.
that's 2. Oh, he's born in Oregon.
You came
God
up to
damn it.
Oregon.
How do you and did you like living in Japan?
I loved it. Yeah. I mean, that's why we went back the second time. We asked to go back. And it's so far, like, if you ask to go back to Japan, it's a great place to be, but it is very far. And so people are like, yeah, go.
I heard it's very clean there.
Is there anything still
Yeah.
fucked up from when we dropped the big A bomb on them? Or are they pretty well rebuild?
Yeah. You can't tell. Well, I mean, I can't say much, I guess, because I didn't go up there to Hiroshima or anything like that. But, and then Okinawa is like a little bitty island, 600 something miles off the coast of mainland Japan. But,
Are they
Yeah.
happy to see Americans over there? Or are they still like that motherfucker?
yeah, well, I will say in Okinawa, at least, there are some bars they call izakayas. It's like little neighborhood bars. And they'll just like give you an X. They'll just like go
Really?
like this, and they won't serve Americans, and you just gotta like leave.
Still a little bit of resentment then.
So, but it's very clean. I've heard there.
Oh yeah, and not a single trash can anywhere. People just like keep their trash and throw it away at home because you have to recycle. You have to.
And everybody's very respectful. I've heard there.
Very, very respectful. Yeah,
I like the food over there.
it's awesome. Yeah.
Your daddy's not going to eat over there though. He would starve to death. But
I don't know, he'll eat burgers the whole time.
We've been building a fire out there cooking
He'll eat
us some
Wagyu
fish.
steak and burgers the whole time.
what is your favorite meal over there that you had? What do you
Ramen.
miss? Ramen?
Yeah, the ramen. Because it's all, I mean, it's homemade and everything.
Fucking 100. You can buy 100 of them for $20.
No,
Ramen noodles.
10
no,
cents.
it's different. It's different. Not like, and I had that kind of culture shock too,
Right.
being like, oh, the ramen noodles, like the cup of noodles.
Yeah, right.
And then we went out to a place, and it's like the broth that they've been making for days, and they made their own noodles and like all these things too. And
Yeah, and all the kids over there think I'm the sheriff.
oh yeah, so the first time we were there, we lived there. That was yeah. So
You went to Okinawa?
no.
Should tell.
My background's in special education, so I was a teacher. And the first time I lived there, I
Well, you're in
taught-
the right family for that.
I know,
You're a
right?
diagnosed clay.
Yeah. Yeah. God love him. So the first time we lived there, I taught 4th grade at a off-base international school. I had about 8 Japanese students. They all spoke English, but it was their second language. And I had a picture of Dad up on my like little magnet board, and he's on a horse, cowboy hat and everything at work. And one of my kids said, who's that? I was like, oh, that's my dad. Your dad, he's sheriff? And I was like, no, he's a cowboy.
Damn right.
John
I said,
Wayne?
no, he's a cowboy. And he was like, oh, I thought they were extinct. And I was like, nope, they're very much
Yeah.
alive. And then there was another time I had them doing like journal entries, and I said, write a journal entry of what you think of when you hear the word Texas, because they kind of became obsessed with Texas and stuff like that, and hearing about how big and wide open it was and everything. Because there you got building, 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 and one of the kids came up. He was really struggling to think of the word, and he came up to my desk, and he said, "How do you say?" And I was like, "A shot?" And he was like, "Yes, a shot glass." And that's what he thought of when he heard Texas. And I was like, "What? How do you even know?" Like,
There's no other state. There's no other place in the
No.
world. You can show a picture of Texas. You could be an Eskimo. You could be in the middle of the African, sub-Saharan Africa. You could be in the middle of China or Russia. Everybody knows that's Texas.
yeah.
I don't give a shit what it is. You can show a picture of California and nobody will fucking know. But you show a picture of Texas and anywhere in the world, everybody.
It's true.
And if you tell somebody where you're from, they always. A buddy of mine was at a strip club in Vegas. Kid worked for me.
Surely
and
not.
He said that he said he was
Fine
there,
establishment.
and he said he was from Kansas. And they, where y'all from? We're from Kansas. He said, "Fuck, I just been working in Knox City for 2 or 3 years." So he said, "I'm from Knox City, Texas." "Oh, I got some relatives that live in Austin." You know, he said, as soon as you say Texas, he said,
Yep.
people
They
treat
light
you
up.
completely different. They just, "Oh, you're from Texas," and they ask you. So that's pretty interesting then.
Yeah.
So the little Japanese kids
Yeah.
thought you were.
Yeah, that one day, remember I FaceTimed you. I just happened to call her and FaceTime her, and she had all them kids, and she's got on the deal, and I guess there was a recess or some shit, and they was all behind her. Come here, it's the sheriff. And they was all,
Yeah.
it's the sheriff,
Yeah,
it's the sheriff.
I tried to get him go over there because the thing is well, I'm just slightly above average tall for a girl, and then I have blonde hair, blue eyes. So
Well, you stood out big time over
I
there.
did, yeah, and I'm not that much taller than them, but since I do have
Blonde hair.
yeah, I did, and people. Ellie, my oldest, when she was born over there, and when she was a little baby, people would ask to like take a picture with her and stuff, and like rub her head because it's good luck, like blue-eyed babies and stuff. Super sweet people, but I tried to get him to go over there. I was like, "You would be a hot commodity over
Yeah,
there."
I should wear
Yeah.
my leg.
Your
in,
cowboy
like that.
hat and like a vest and
Oh,
boots,
shit,
man.
that's fucking
If anything
sheriff.
ever
Yeah.
happens to the second practice wife, you fucking start you a place up there.
Damn right.
You'd be a stud right there. You'd have all kinds of little
They'd be-
Japanese
they'd be
kids.
There
Taking
ain't
you
gonna
out.
be no. I've learned my lesson through the. If I get rid of this first one, I told her the other day my marriage license has expired. She said that was wrong, and I
So,
said,
well, you just got fake tits now. Now you don't want. Does your daughter know this? We shouldn't have said
Oh,
this.
yeah,
but-
she
okay,
knows.
good.
Yes, of
I was
course.
just kidding. I know. So did you? Now your husband's a big guy, right? How tall is he?
He's 5'11".
Oh, he's not. Oh, I figured he'd be taller
He's
than
not
that.
super tall, but he's a Viking.
Stout,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
a he's muscle.
I knew a guy in the military that was over there that was like 6'3", 6'4", and he said, "God Almighty," he said, "You thought I was fucking 7 foot tall."
Yeah.
Everybody just be like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
know."
that's so true.
"Oh my God, yeah, it would be." I really wanted to go over, but that's that goddamn.
Like a 16-hour
fucking-
flight.
Yeah, I know it. And me, you know, if I could afford first class, you know, sit up there with the peanuts and.
First
I have
class
no
is still
sympathy
a.
for him.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, well, I don't have-
me and Andy fly first class sometimes, and I'm going to tell you right now,
The
not to sound
seats
bougie, it still
is
ain't
the
that
difference.
fucking comfortable for a 16-hour flight. Would you think so? It'd be better
no,
being in the back of the
right.
plane, but it still would not be fun.
Well, a lot of those flights are double deckers, aren't they? Like,
Yeah,
there's
some,
top,
yeah.
top deck. That's where you got to be. You got to be on top deck because that's
Well,
got the
I should have
bed.
done. I should have got over in that cargo plane. I could have walked.
They
over
said
there.
yeah.
that's very uncomfortable.
It's awful. I
Yes.
did it with Ellie once when she was like 6 months
You flew in a
old.
jump seat?
In a C5, yeah,
Oh, yeah, they
cargo
say it's
plane.
a terrible flight.
They were like, well, some of them they're not those jump seats. You know, a lot of the time they're not. No, they were the jump seats, and it had like the big box in the middle that was like strapped down. And I was like, what have I done?
Yeah. Payne had to fly somewhere on one.
But it's free.
and they
I'm
have
like, yeah, at a cost.
Yeah.
My gosh.
the toilet's just got a little curtain to pull around.
Yeah,
Yes.
literally. I was like, all right, I'll hold it.
Yeah, it probably ain't gonna happen.
That's what I was thinking too. I thought, fuck, that'd be the way to go. You could spread out, take your nap.
Well, you
spread out
can
of
lay
there.
on the ground. They'll
I'd
let
be
you lay
all-
on the ground, so that was nice. But I have no sympathy for him because I've done that flight several times with kids.
How long is the flight?
Well, it depends. So to get Okinawa to Tokyo is, I think, 2 hours. And then if you do like a direct flight from Tokyo to DFW is about 13 hours. And we did do that once.
What's the airport like in? I've been to the
You can't
Vancouver.
download enough movies for my fucking kids on a or Clay
Well, they
crackhead
have
ass.
the screens on the international flight. That's a good thing now.
Reese on a 13-hour flight would have to poop 16 times.
Oh fuck!
That kid, I'm telling you right now, we're gonna get on a plane tomorrow with him and his
He'll shit.
ass.
And
He'll
I
go
would have to
bathroom 3
piss
times.
116.
What did like I've been to Vancouver's airport and everything's in Japanese, which I can't understand all that shit anyways either. When you're in Okinawa or in Tokyo, a lot of it Americans see English in the airport and stuff. So you okay?
Yeah, like the signs will be in. I think usually it's Japanese. It'll be like English, Japanese, Korean.
Even Alaska, like at Fairbanks, they have so many flights that come, and it's all they have Japanese and Korean, all the different languages there, and you're like, motherfucker.
I went to Anchorage once, and it was kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Yep, same type deal.
So
That's
it's
what's
really
funny.
easy.
You get to Anchorage, you're like, oh, I'm halfway home. It's
Right.
still a fucking 10-hour flight to Dallas.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a long ass way. So now I'm going to ask you a question, Clay, and I'm sure I missed something, but are you going to Switzerland
I want to.
go backpack?
I'd like to hitchhike across Switzerland. Yeah.
I would like to do that.
And Alaska the same way.
I don't want to hitchhike across Alaska. I've been to Alaska.
There's too many bears.
Fuck, the bears, fucking mosquitoes, and
Well, it's,
bugs will
it's
eat
so
your ass
damn
up.
big, but yeah, I'd like to just give me that's why I got to get my passport. Not that I'm going, but I would love
I got all fucking excited because I told Michelle, I said, I'm going to ask Clay, and I'd go to Switzerland, and I would do that with you. I would do that because that to me that would be. I would love to. I would love to.
No.
I'm telling you, I'll do it.
I will leave on a moment's notice.
Well,
yeah.
I can't do nothing till after hunting season's over, but I would go there. I would love to go to the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, see, but that's the hard thing about relying on me because I am one of them. I might leave this fucking deal right here and go, hey, motherfucker, I just got my passport in. Hey, let's go to fucking Switzerland. And,
You don't even like to fly though.
Exactly.
Flying does not bother me a bit.
I've
the
asked you about shit.
confinement. This is the confinement of it.
The sitting, it just fucking hard on my
Well,
back.
Switzerland's a little east of
I
Henrietta.
could drive to fucking across there to New York or where I'd like to go see my uncle. I can go see my uncle at New Hampshire, catch a flight up there, and it ain't nearly far. It ain't that far of a drive.
Where's your uncle at New Hampshire? What town?
Nottingham, New Hampshire. Clay, you got to get up here and kill some of these fucking wolves. That's what they're making these fucking coyotes are made with these fucking wolves. Yeah, he's from Massachusetts and Boston.
You know, did he live here and go up there? Or
No. He's born and raised in
Nottingham, New Hampshire. I'm gonna see how close.
Nantucket and all up there.
So how did your people get to fucking Texas?
My grandmother, my dad's mom, was a Boston, Massachusetts gal, and then my granddad was Electra, Texas boy, and he met her through the war.
Oh,
and,
I knew I'd seen this.
And then moved her down here. Well, she got down here and said, "Fuck this!" Took my dad, hauled ass, and I went back up there. And yeah, my dad was kind of a bastard child. He never really knew his dad. And when he was 14 years old, he, of course, his stepdad was mean to him, beat the fuck out of him. His mom didn't really like him. And so he fucking said when he's 14, he kind of did the old Clay Reid Irish goodbye. I said, fuck it.
Back to Texas.
He'd heard his dad was in Alaska. So he made his way to Alaska, hitchhiked for all the way to got up there to Alaska, and then was too late. His dad had done left, so he worked on the crab boats up there long enough to get some money to fly down to here. And then he met my cousin Eddie Livingston. He said, "Well, warn you, 6 months too late." He said, "Your dad fell off a drilling rig and broke his back, and he died at a blood clot and surgery, and dead." So, but that's when old man Ace, which is my dad's uncle, dad's brother, started kind of half-ass raising him.
And that's in Nottingham. We're going to be right by there. That's not very far from where we're going to be at.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the one that was owned by Pablo Escobar. Yeah, he's a wild motherfucker.
He was owned by him?
Uh-huh. Yeah, he used to work for the mob, then he got bought by the mob, Pablo Escobar, doing his shit down there. And the only reason they got free is they killed Pablo. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, oh, yeah, there's a whole fucking hell of a story behind that old deal. Yeah, he's got between him and my dad. If you could ever get both of them, some bitches, but they fucking hate each other. Hell, I've been trying to put that deal back together, but no, they're both of them. Some bitches lived some wild ass life back during the '70s and the cocaine and all that.
Was
shit.
he? Did Did he like fly planes for Pablo, or did he, when he got it over here, he would ship it?
They were smuggling drugs out of New Hampshire. Nobody ever thinks about fucking on the coast of New Hampshire. You know, he had all them crab boats and all that. It was a fucking hell of a deal. But how he, it was per chance is they had a bad DEA officer. They were at a convention in California, and they're at this big deal. Well, this other DEA, he goes, man, we're fixing to bust this outfit out of fucking New Hampshire up there. He said, it's crazy. He said, nobody ever thinks about it. We're fixing to bust it. Well, this guy called. We didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah.
So if my Uncle Charles happens to be in Miami, so he got out of being busted. They busted the place up there. They called up there, and they couldn't get a hold of the guys. But anyway, busted all them. So he called Escobar and said, hey, we got to lay low, da-da-da. They busted the deal. And then it's like 6 months later is when they caught Escobar and killed him. Yeah.
I saw something. I think Escobar was losing like $2 million a day to rats eating it because he had all this money just laying around his mansion.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do anything with it. Like couldn't clean the money,
My
and he
Uncle
was
Charles
losing millions to
When they
rats.
sent him down there to do the first deal, he said he don't know who Escobar is for all this. And so he sits down on the couch, and there's $10,000 stuck in the couch right there. And he's like, what the fuck? He pulls it out, and he goes, it's fucking $10,000 right here. And so he's like, well, I ain't stealing from this motherfucker. So he said, hey, there's $10,000 over here, and he pulls it out, and he goes, oh, I got that shit everywhere. Da, da, da. And he always thought that it was a test
to see
of
if
his
he pocketed
loyalty,
it.
if he'd steal from him or not. But
Yeah, here it is. $2.1 billion a year he would lose to mice eating it
That's insane.
with a B.
that is fucking crazy.
Just he had too much money. He didn't know what to do with it
shucks.
all. So fucking mice ate it. So now this is your heritage here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sitting here going like, what the hell?
This is your bloodline. It's got
good stuff.
you got a drug runner in
Yeah,
there.
and then I've got freaking Air Force
think
fighter
we
pilot.
get-
I'm like, oh, this is the family you want to move.
Hey,
like,
wait.
yeah. When I found out, I mean, we don't really
How
have.
far out do you fly that, Jane?
No, don't get any.
What was that got that show? You know, they converted the pilot into a drug runner.
American Made. American Made.
We had that guy on the podcast
What
with
was
us,
that
Roger
guy?
Reeves. That
Roger
guy's name.
Reeves.
You didn't have that guy.
No,
They
that guy's name was
killed him.
Barry
Barry.
Seal.
Yeah.
And he was killed. He thought he had a free pass because he had some pictures of George H. or George W. Bush with the plane in Panama or somewhere, and he thought that was his get out of jail card.
Oh,
And they pulled his fucking card and they fucking killed his ass. But he was friends with Pablo and El Chapo and all them guys and the CIA, and so he thought he had a free pass and he was untouchable. Well,
Because he had the president
he had
as flying.
or George. One of them he had a picture that could connect the Bush family with
drugs.
was it Noriega?
Yeah.
I think it was Noriega, the Iran Contra,
Yeah.
all that shit was
Iran
going
Contra,
on.
yeah.
Anyways, he thought he had a free pass on the thing and that they wouldn't bother him. Well, they pulled his plug. He got Clintonized.
that'll do
Yeah,
it.
he
And that'll
probably,
knock shit. Damn sure
That'll
do
do
that
it.
all the
knew my
time.
uncle.
Yeah, he might. But anyways, we had a guy on the podcast this about
Roger Reeves.
Roger Reeves, who wrote a book called The Smuggler, The Drug Smuggler. And it's a big time book on Amazon. It's a really interesting book. He was an interesting guy, but he spent 22 years of his life in prison and three or four different times he got caught. But the last time he got caught, I think he had $20-some million worth of cocaine on him going into Australia. Is where they busted him the last time.
And he said when
Good
you get caught
Lord.
by the Mexican government, it's a whole different game than getting caught by the American government.
Yeah.
He said they strapped him down and put his ass in the air, and they got hot chili like you'd eat and got that shit to a boil and stuck a hose in his asshole and dumped that hot chili down his asshole
My God.
to get him to talk.
Damn.
Like
I don't
just
like chilies.
fucking burn
Motherfuckers
his.
would know whatever they wanted from me.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Time now.
Yeah, we don't have.
As soon as that chili started boiling,
Yeah.
You
hey,
strap me down and pull my britches
you
off, and
tell
I'm
me
gonna tell you what
whatever
you
you
want.
want to know, I'll make up
Oh
what
my
I.
God.
Damn.
Can you imagine that?
Ooh, yeah, imagine it right now. My asshole's starting to pucker up.
I had a buddy of mine that went got
I'm needing that anal bead out of
he got his hair waxed on his old tank, and he went to do it, and he said, It was really embarrassing, Jeff. They put me up on all my knees. And this little Chinese lady come out there and she put some wax on my butthole and she started ripping all them hairs and shit
God.
off. I go, why would you
And
even do that
they
shit?
pay people to do that.
Yeah, I thought, gosh, almighty. Every time I go with Michelle and I get my feet done, I can't think. There's no way in hell I'd be letting them put wax on my asshole. And
You gotta grab.
shit.
You gotta grab your knees. And,
You go up there for that rub and tug?
No, I always go with my wife to the foot
Yeah.
tug because all they do is touching my feet.
Well,
next door they do though. From where I go, that's one of
I
those
know it.
places.
I got a buddy of mine that comes down here pretty regular. I ought to mention his name, throw him under the bus. But that's the first fucking place he goes to, that rub and tug. Yeah. And he goes, I was like, a rub and tug? He goes, yeah. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about the first time. Yeah, like a rub and tug. I said, what are you talking about? You know, the happy ending? And really? They got those? He goes, hell yeah. And he goes, but I go with the full meal deal.
the full
meal
meal deal.
I said, what they charge you? Oh, $60 for a rub and tug and $100 for a full meal deal. And I was like, damn. But it must be great because that son of a bitch, last time he was here, we was going to go hunting. That son of a bitch, he's like, I'll see you in a little bit. 2 hours later, he showed back
With
up.
a smile on his
He's
face.
damn right.
I had a buddy of mine that went to one of those. He said, they're not near as efficient as I am at it. He's like, a lot more strokes than what I'm used
That's
to.
because you got more practice. I said, hell, I've been practicing for that job all life.
He's like, they're not near as efficient with their strokes as I am.
I've been doing this shit since I'm 12. I'm a master of this shit.
I'll switch hands and gain a stroke.
Water don't even get cold. And I'm done.
Hell, I was, you remember I was telling you about the girl in Winnemucca? Oh my God!
I've told that story.
Yeah, I never been to a whorehouse, but that might have been the one time I would, if I had
Oh,
money.
how much money she was making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told a guy that and he looked it up. He was trying to find her online.
She's
I
not
said-
on there anymore.
I said, I don't know the name of the place he was at. It said it was in Wendover. Was it Wendover or Winnemucca?
Winnemucca.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, Clay was in there, and I said, he said, she's a good looking blonde. He goes, I looked at
Oh
all
my
at all the profile pictures, and I didn't find which one it is. I said, she's a local girl. I said, you probably can call the bar
tried
and
to-
ask for the
we
local
tried to
chick.
find her up there the other day, and she wasn't on there. She was
Tired.
when we left.
That's all
When
that
we left,
shout
she
out you
was
gave
on.
her. She's busy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
She retired.
you know, she could make it double the money in Vegas, so she probably said, fuck this, we're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she worked on Mondays and Fridays at Winnemucca, and then she go to, on Wednesday, she go to, and that's when I told Kelly, I said, Kelly, you know what they're selling? They're renting up here. I said, don't you bring nothing home you can't wipe off, you stupid son of a bitch. Yeah.
How much was she making a day? What'd she tell
She
you?
said she'd make, on Mondays and Fridays, she only worked Mondays and Fridays up there, and she'd make $4,000 to $5,000. And then on Wednesday, she would fly to Vegas and make double of that. So she's making about $15,000 a month. And that's when I asked her, I said, you from here? She's born and raised. And he said, I said, really? You ain't got no problem with, being a whore in your old town? And she goes, nah. I said, right out that door, said, I got the biggest, baddest double cab dually. He said, I drive through town with both fingers out the window. I said, I like your style. Yeah.
So what is Clay like as a granddad?
Totally different as a dad.
Yeah. Yeah. The dad I know, I think I said this the other day, the dad I know is not the Papa Reid they know. So,
Right.
but that's usually how it goes.
Well, no.
Because
Yeah,
how old?
yeah.
Your oldest, right? You strapped him to a bull or something like when he was 7 or 8 years
my
old,
God.
didn't you?
It's
Oh, yeah.
amazing I ain't killed that boy.
He had a football helmet on though.
Yeah.
So
well,
we were
after the
safe.
first
yeah,
one we
yeah.
didn't have the, he
Strapped a football helmet on.
yeah, we had a shoot. He comes up to me one day. He said, Dad, I want to be a bull rider. And he's like 10 years old. He goes, I
And
want to be a
skinny.
bull rider.
Jake was skinny.
Yeah, he may not even been 10. Yeah, I think he made 10 because Dawson was like 5. He goes, I want to be a bull rider. And I just happened to have some 3 calves, weigh about 500 pounds. Wild ass calves, chronics that I had up there at the house. So
Chronics mean they're bad, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And well, I had this old squeeze chute, and it had a side gate, opens up to the side gate. So I spent all afternoon rigging this deal up. Made me some panels up there to make me a chute where I could put them in there, and we'll put in old Jake and give him some practice kills because we entered him up in the Electra Junior Rodeo the next weekend. So we got to practice. So I get old Jake up there. And like I say, I think that they ain't gonna picture him on my deal, but old Jake, he gets on that. Oh, well, I got it all put together, got everything up there, And then I got them calves in there. And I go to put that first big red calf in there. And old Jake and Dawson sitting over there. All right, we're fixing to ride calf. We're fixing to ride calf. Well, I put that first calf in that son of a bitch. And when I do, this son of a bitch is running around this little short lot, bouncing off the fucking walls. And I'm trying to get him in this little alley that I'd built with panels. God damn. Well, then all of a sudden, that motherfucker jumped into my water trough, which I had spent the day before, bought a brand new Rubbermaid water trough, put gravel in there because it had leaked, put me a frost-free faucet in it, and that motherfucker jumps in it, knocks a hole in my brand new Rubbermaid deal, knocks my goddamn frost-free hydrant out, water's shooting up, and then I am fucking mad. You motherfucker. So I go over there, and the son of a bitch tries to jump over me, winds up kicking the shit out of me. I grab him in the headlock, roll that motherfucker, and go to biting him on his eyeballs, and I'm
Biting him on his eyeballs.
and that ain't no shit. I was chewing on this motherfucker's eyeball, got him by his little feet, chewing on him, and I finally got some bitch by his head, and I dragged that motherfucker up that chute, and I shut that back gate on that fucking chute. I said, all right, come here. I've got blood all over him, and the kid's got blood all over, and the whole time he's going, ah.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, give me your rope. I don't want to ride no more, Daddy. Oh, yeah, motherfucker. You going to ride this on me, and you're going to like it. I don't want to ride, Daddy. I don't want to ride it. Give me that goddamn bull rope. And Kelly goes, Clay, that's enough. You shut the fuck up. Give me that goddamn bull rope. I bring that bull rope over there, and I get old Jake strapped down. I don't want to ride, Daddy. I don't want to. That kid's going, let's get on this motherfucker. So we get him on there. I said, get ready now. I'm going to turn it out. And what's bad, this lot that we're turning him into
CPS is rolling right now.
solid
Right.
gravel.
Oh,
It ain't
shit.
just rock. There
It's
ain't
awful.
no. It ain't like a plowed rail.
Not dirt.
I opened that fucking gate. When I opened that gate, old fucking Jake's head went up like this, and it hit that fucking top.
shit.
Bam! Knocks his ass off. Calf goes on him. He's bawling. Wah! He goes, I don't want to ride. I said, no, motherfucker. You got two more. I said, go tell it. Go give me that goddamn football helmet. So he goes get the football helmet, brings back here, and I make that motherfucker ride two more. And I said, we're going to cure this motherfucker want to be a bull rider. And but what was bad, the next week we go over to the Electra Junior Rodeo, and Jake's like, damn, Dad, this is nice. Your plowed ground
Right,
back there.
right.
Man, this is nice. Yeah, he goes, I don't even have to duck.
How'd he do?
Oh, he went.
Look like a yard dart.
Oh,
Yard
yeah,
dart.
yeah, him and Dawson both.
I don't even have to duck, Dad.
Yeah, I don't even. I was like, I was gun shy for a little while. Oh, yeah.
He's not strapping Mongo to any.
Not yet. I don't think.
Are you going to let Mongo do that if he wants?
I don't know.
Maybe not to that extreme.
You know what's crazy? In
Mongo
1970,
ain't never going to tell her he's doing it.
Yeah.
in 1975, Clay was a normal dad. Mm-hmm. That was
Oh, yeah.
normal. That was.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
the whole
yeah.
the whole mindset and shit. You know, Zachary did. He rode saddle broncs for a while, and I was absolutely against it. And so I probably was junior year in high school. He wanted to ride the rodeo at Monday for the volunteer fireman rodeo. I was like, son of a bitch! Come on, please let me. So then we agreed to let him do it. Well, can I have $100 to enter? I go, what? They were making about $35,000 an hour on that thing because Zach, I paid $100 and he lasted about 1 second. So I was figuring $100 a second. That's pretty damn good money per hour.
Yeah.
Because he looked like a yard dart.
Yeah.
Over that deal.
Yeah.
But then he got good at it.
Yeah. And then I didn't really like it at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeff thought, yeah, we'll put him in at 17. He'll get his teeth kicked in, and we'll solve that. Well, then a couple years later, the little motherfucker actually got pretty good at it.
He won at post and something else, but I was pissed. And I told him, I said, listen, if you want me to pay that fucking cell phone bill, you're quitting. You know, we paid all that money for them fucking teeth and shit. And you're going to be, your teeth are going to get knocked out. And then me and Michelle went and watched him rode one night, and some kid from, another kid that we knew his girlfriend's family real well. He got kicked in the head by a horse and cut him up real bad and shit. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to watch my kid.
I had two.
I don't
want
want
to
to watch.
killed last year.
I don't want to watch kids do that shit. It bothers me. It really, really does. You're an old cowboy and you've been around a long time, and I know you wouldn't wear a fucking vest and a helmet to save your ass because you're too hard headed. That's right. That's exactly right.
That's like JB Mooney. You know, they
Yeah.
asked him about it. Fuck that.
That's
Those
right.
goddamn pussies.
But if Mongo wants to do it, don't you want him to wear a vest and a helmet if he's doing it? That's a yes.
Yeah.
It is.
You pause too
I
long.
just don't want the motherfucker doing it.
Yeah,
but of course, but if he is, you would want him to wear a vest and a helmet.
Oh, yeah, but I wouldn't like it. That's like wearing a gay pride sign on your chest.
Have you seen how gentle that bull is that retired him? It's just like a fucking dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he has it at his house now.
Yeah, he's
right?
got it at his
Yeah.
house and broke his neck and all this other shit. But just outside of that chute, and it's just, he said, hell, he comes up to me, I scratch his back.
Oh, yeah, that horse that stepped on my
So-
face, gentlest son
Do you
of a
know
bitch.
him? Do you know JB?
No, I do not.
He's not a very big guy, is he?
No, can't be, I don't think. But I think he's big for bull riding standards, for sure.
tall
yeah.
for a bull
Yeah,
rider.
he's kind of like old Tough was, a little taller.
I met a guy you probably know, Ross Coleman.
Yeah.
You know Ross?
Well, I know him, but I don't know him.
Ross is a big, tall guy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a guy that I would not want to have to tangle
Matter of
with.
fact, I was just fixed to call Ross Coleman because Jim Sharp, he's been helping me. Jim, Razor Sharp, world champion. Yeah, I was going to call old Ross because he's been day working a lot over around my country.
Ross, I met him in Henrietta about a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in Henrietta.
Yeah, that's where he lives at. We bought a Labradoodle from him. Michelle bought a new puppy, and we got it from Ross's wife. Once I met him, he's a really, really nice guy. But that's the kind of guy right there that if you got in a bar fight with him, I'd be really worried about him. That son of a bitch is solid as hell.
The guy you bought
Yeah.
the dog from?
Yes, and I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't want to have to piss him off. That's one of them yes sir, no sir guys. Oh, did my wife looked at you funny? I'm sorry, sir.
I'll handle her in the car.
Yes. But anyway,
I'll
he
handle
seems
her in
like
the
a
car,
really
yeah.
nice guy, but he's a tall guy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he's wiry. Reminds me of Steve Dotson. Bigger version of Steve Dotson. Good little handshake on him. Your daughter's got a good handshake too. I bet them other little Air Force moms ain't not used to shaking hands like you do.
She probably don't have a clue she got it.
She got a good handshake. Because when I shake hands with a woman, I don't want to, be that shit. And then you meet a woman, then you feel like a pussy when you shake a woman's hand.
And they crinkle
And they-
your
No,
knuckles. You're like,
Yes. You're like,
y'all had
God dang, I should.
think y'all had a good handshake. I did we had a little girls trip down in Destin the other beginning of May, and we did a salsa dancing class. None of us had ever done that, so we were like, yeah, we'll try this out. And so they had you all like in a line, and then this one group would just go around the room and switch. So you would stay in your same spot, but then they would go through, and every one of those dudes were like the softest hand.
Yeah, that
it
wears
made
me
it was
out.
like icky.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked over at the other girl that I know she's from Abilene, and we were both. I didn't even have to say anything to her. We were like,
Texans.
not your Texas rodeo.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, that felt icky.
I always feel bad when I don't shake a guy's hand. I don't get in there, and get a real good. You have
right.
that.
You gotta get a
And
good
you're like,
purchase.
fuck it, I hate when you do that shit. But with a woman, you don't ever know because you get some women and they just kind of do the little deal like that.
Yeah.
And you just with the woman, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Well, you shake hands like a country girl does.
Yeah, probably.
And that's a good thing. But I meet a lot of men that can't shake hands either. I'm like, fuck, teach your man. If you've got a boy, teach him how to shake a fucking hand.
Yeah.
Reach in, shake a hand, and squeeze
That's
the fuck
true,
out of
good
the
point.
other guy.
I don't think it's like talked about anymore. It's just like assumed or something.
When I was younger, man, in the 20s, and we used to play softball against the other guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you fucking played them boys from Scotland and Windthorst in the softball game,
Plowboys.
yes, when you fucking walked off that fucking deal, you're like, God Almighty, motherfuckers! You can tell they've been fucking
motherfuckers-
squeezing titties all day.
Tit pulls and
That's true.
practicing the other.
Have you ever met Billy Easter?
Yeah.
I thought when I was a kid, I thought Billy Easter. He's a big old dude, cowboy rancher and everything, and I thought he broke my hand as like a
Shaking your hands?
10-year-old
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like
his fucking hands are monstrous.
monstrous and just like engulfed. It was one of those like where it just like I was like, oh,
Ain't none of them got their hands shake like Louis fucking Blair. Louis fucking Blair was an old. When he was 93 years old, he'd crush your hand.
Yeah,
But he had he took pride in putting you on your knees. And I mean, I would not know none of us ever should. We won't shake hands with him because he'd crush it. And I remember one day we had a little cattle buyer come up there, and he's a little old, got a little wiggle ass, and his cockroach killing boots on. He come up there and we set him up and said, "Hey man," said, "see that old man over there?" Said, "Make goddamn sure you go over there and introduce yourself and shake his hand. He will be greatly offended." "Oh, okay, hell yeah." So he wiggles his little old fancy Dan ass over there. "Hello, Mr. Blair, I'm so-and-so, so-and-so." And he grabbed a hold of his hand, and old Blair, when he would crush you, you immediately went to the ground. And the whole time he had that little old laugh. He'd go, and he's pointing. And he just fucking laughing at that little, oh, God damn, let go of this. I mean, crying, bawling.
That's the way I felt when we played the other guys. When we used to play them in
Yeah.
softball, we get done and be like, son of a bitch. So when I get guys up here that overshake hands, because there's guys that overshake
Yeah.
it, and I'll be
Yeah.
like, motherfucker, what, you grow up on a dairy?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you pulling titties all day long the way you shake your hand? Because you can tell the difference. But boy, when I meet a man that don't shake hands at all, it wears me the hell out. I just...
Yeah.
you've seen
Or
Trump
like she's
shake
talking
hands.
about that little soft.
Like you see how Trump like pulls you in. Well, Joe Rogan was talking about shaking Trump's hand one time. He's like, I knew the pull was about to come, but he said I was reaching over somebody to shake his hand, and that old motherfucker pulled me in, and it's on camera. And Joe Rogan's like, I look like such a bitch because I got a 75-year-old Donald Trump, and here I am. I'm on testosterone and everything else, and he's fucking
Yanked him in.
across all these
But it's
people. He's like, and I knew that fucking pull was coming too. That's the worst part of it.
Dave McCullough does that.
Yeah.
He pulls you right to him when he does it.
I wonder if,
you go face to face real quick.
Pull up that Kevin Holland TikTok. He broke that boy's arm the other night.
Is this the guy you hunted the other day?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
took hunting, and he jumped out of the deal to go over and talk to Trump. I think he shook
Oh
his
yeah,
hand.
yeah. Did you hear what he told him?
Uh-uh.
I'll try to find that video.
Hell, he told
Because
me
I can't say it because I'm not the right color.
Must have used the N word.
Yeah, he said Trump, you're my
You're my nigga.
yeah.
You're not getting if you're repeating what someone else said.
Yeah,
What gets me?
but
Did you
yeah.
see where the girl got canceled the other day for singing the freaking rap song that has the N word 47 times in the word? So she's singing along it. Well, now they're all pissed. Why are you? She's singing a song. I mean, I don't.
But that's the way America
They're
runs.
a bunch of pussies. I'm telling you,
telling
excuse
you.
my language. But we are in a world full of pussies.
These
And-
people couldn't watch Blazing Saddles if their life depended on it.
Oh,
No.
He was pumped to meet him. Even old Trump, there he is.
Oh, he pulled it.
Yeah, Kevin's a good dude.
How tall is he?
Oh, he's 6'3", I think is what he told me.
What does he fight at? 185 or something like
But
that?
I ain't got a clue. That some bitch I guarantee is quick as a
that.
fucking cat.
Them guys are got him out. It's
Oh
scary.
yeah, that oh boy, he big cat. Yeah, he's from
got those-
California.
We have those Reid fighting hands. I have like some
Yeah, we
Reid
got
hands.
clubs.
Like for a girl, I used to try to wear like acrylics, like make them cuter. They're ugly as shit. They're just
Yeah, she got
rancher
her daddy's
hands.
hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Tony, neither one, we both got our moms, our little Italian hands, because my dad had big old meat hooks like Clay does. Big ass, big, fucking fingers are about that thick a piece.
Yes, that's Dad. I
Yeah.
saw him knock a cow out once at work, and I was like,
Of course, I got.
well,
I remember like to see that one finger won't go up. I damn near cut that some bitch off. I hit a guy in the mouth and knocked all of his teeth out. But it damn near cut this pinky off. And boy, about a week later,
You got infected?
oh, it's fucking ungodly. And I basically homeless, but I had to go to the ER because it was like Play-Doh, you know. You put it. So I go in there and they went to carve and I was, oh yeah, you got the gangrene, da da da. And he goes, oh, wait a minute, I found the problem.
tooth?
They pulled 3 teeth out of that. Some
Oh,
of them
my
still in there.
gosh.
Yeah, that might be to do it.
That'll
so
do
that's
it.
why I can't. Yeah,
My dad had big, as big a hands as any man I've ever seen in my life. Like his hands were like that thick. But he used to get, in the wintertime, they would chap and they would crack. Big cracks in him and shit. And my dad would take cement glue and glue the cracks up in his fingers. I mean, he had big, his hands were bigger than Clay's. His fingers were almost twice as big as fat, big old. But that's what they would crack in the wintertime from doing pheasant hunts in the water and shit. He'd get big old cracks in him like a damn ground cracks. And I've seen him just take cement glue and just,
no shit's
like, God's
given.
got to burn like a
Yeah, I
son of a
remember when
bitch.
me and her mom got married. We were gonna go get her wedding deal, and hell, I think that sizer only went up to size 18, and it wouldn't even come close to fitting it. Some bit. Yeah, they bought me we had our fantasy football deal. You got a Super Bowl or
Yeah.
fantasy ring when you won it. Well, that son of a bitch is
Andy wouldn't
big,
have no clue about that winning part.
Big old giant son of
I
a
do
bitch,
my
and it
best.
won't fit on my goddamn pinky.
Yeah, if we had a consolation bracket ring, Andy'd have one. We even named our consolation bracket after Andy. It's called the Andy bracket.
He
So if you-
asked him, right here it looked like, because he knows he's got it.
Oh yeah, he told
Oh
him.
my
He
god.
said, "You gonna stop this?" And then he asked the guy
Yeah.
that he's fighting.
Asked the guy, and he went and tapped.
He
Broke
goes,
his
all
arm.
right. He said, all right, fuck it. And he went, whew.
Because you can see him. He's talking to that guy right there. Like, are you sure?
It just-
And
I don't wanna
he
do
even
this
looked,
to
and
you.
there it goes.
It's crazy. They don't even get mad at each other. That's
And
what-
he's talking to the ref right there, like, hey, stop this.
Like,
I'm
what else
about
do
to
you want me
break
to
his
do
fucking
here?
arm if you don't stop this. And he's going to let me break his
Looks
arm.
like rubber.
what?
There it goes. Broke it.
Dad, you've tried to get me to do so many adventures in life. Dad was really good talking Jake into riding that little heifer or whatever. You tried to get us to do so many things, and fighting was one of them.
I'm gonna tell you, you're a pretty girl. You don't need to fight. You've got a good life. You've got a good husband. You've got a you are a trophy wife and a trophy life. You do. You're
her
very.
and
now.
Her and her
Thank you.
brother have fought.
No, I'm sure she has.
Jake broke my nose in
But-
6th grade. It was
knocked
under one
tooth
eye.
out
Yeah.
one time.
But
yeah.
you got pretty teeth. There's no sense doing that
Yeah,
shit.
that was a lot of work, though.
Do you work right now or do you not work?
No,
right
I'm
now?
stay-at-home mom.
You're
yeah.
a stay-at-home mom. That's the best blessing in the world. I don't give
It
a
is.
shit what
No, I
everybody.
totally agree.
I
So
I
you
don't
weren't
agree.
offended by Harrison Butker's speech whenever he said...
I didn't even listen, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I read like little snippets of it, but no, not really. I mean, like, okay, for me, like my profession was teaching, like that shit salary and dealing with shit parents, and kids that are like, you know,
Administration.
Yep,
well,
shit
yeah,
administration.
that's not
But
sticking up for
Mongo
you.
needs a mom.
Well, yeah.
If you can afford to be a stay-at-home mom, it's the best blessing and
Oh,
gift
yeah.
you can ever give your children. I don't care what anybody
I
says.
couldn't even afford it, and I did it.
It's the best thing that happened to a kid. Michelle worked basically 3 months a year. 9 months a year, these boys come home. They had a room mom at everything. Everything.
Yep.
They come
Yep.
home to warm snacks.
Yep.
If it was cold outside, it was warm snack.
Yep.
And she was there for everything they needed.
Yep.
That is something, if you can afford to do it, not everybody can because it's so expensive and we
No,
need
I
two
totally
incomes.
agree.
But if you can afford it, that's the best blessing in the world is to be a mom. Harrison Butker has pissed people off by saying that, but what he said was the truth. He also, did you see where he saved that guy's life?
No.
The player had the Kansas City Chiefs had a player had a heart attack.
Oh, I saw that.
And
At
he is the
at
one.
Minicamp?
He noticed it, went and got the guy. They got a defibrillator. They had to fucking shock that guy to get him
my
alive.
Sure he's
So
vaccinated.
he saved his life. I'm sure he is. I wonder if that's what happened with Larry Allen. If that's a vaccine death. But
No, I totally agree with you, though. I mean, and
if you can
see,
be a stay-at-home mom, that's a great thing.
like going to my kids' stuff, and granted, like this is no fault to their own, but like I didn't have that PTO mom and everything, and I'm become that mom, and to show up to like say my kids' Easter egg hunt and see my kids like walking up and then see me that I'm there and their face like light up and be waving mommy, and like I get all those little moments that, I mean, you can't beat that.
Money brings freedom that
Mm-hmm.
people that you just can't get. That's one thing. When you're poor,
But
you
a
have-
lot of people use that as an excuse. I made $1,000 a month, and like I say, Kelly,
but
when they were babies, that was I want her to focus on that. Then.
Yeah, yeah.
But what happens is it takes money to do it to where they have it all the time, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, if you do it, you're going to have to pay child care. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
so you can't hardly afford it anyway.
Oh my
so you
gosh,
can't
no.
afford not to.
No.
it's-
Like nowadays, like a friend was like, "Are you going to work in Florida?" I was like, "Probably not." Like Archie is my 8-month-old. I was like, if I paid for him to go to like just daycare, just him alone in daycare right now would be $800,
Yeah,
$900.
if you're at a
Your
place,
salary would go to pay for
yeah,
daycare.
Yes.
yeah, and gas going because
Right.
he can't go to the school that Reid and Ellie go to, so gas like going everywhere. Like it's not.
Everybody uses money as an excuse because they can't handle the responsibility of being a good mom. I guarantee you, because that's an escape for them. I guarantee you that's the truth in a lot of situations.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. Money gives you freedom. It also gives you privacy because poor people have zero privacy in their life. Zero. You show me someone that's poor that's got a lot of privacy. They don't. They share rooms with their siblings. They do.
Oh,
I
I see
mean,
what you mean.
they're always together. There's no. When you have money, you can spread out and do things,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're blessed to do that. My question to you is: were you the baby that was born that he thought he murdered? That
Marvin did.
that-
Yeah.
that's the murder. That's
She's
the murder
tiny,
baby.
Tiny,
Oh, yeah.
tiny bow baby.
The tiny
Be
bow baby.
like Marvin.
Yeah, be like Marvin.
They
Be like
had
Marvin.
a
That
go
girls'
ahead.
trip down in Destin that I was talking about at the beginning of May, we I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, they were probably like, "Where are you from?" And I was like,
Asked you where you
"Texas."
was born.
Yeah, and
a
I was like,
toilet.
I was actually born at home in Archer City, Texas, and we didn't have my town's like 1,800 people, and I had to, go in ambulance and blah blah blah. And they were like, "Really, a home birth back in the 90s?" I was like, "Well, it wasn't the planned tub
Yeah.
home birth nowadays." And so I go on, tell them the story. Have you told that story on here?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
so.
okay. So go on, tell him the story, and Marvin shows up, and he sees a serrated steak knife and towels and
Yeah,
blood,
yeah.
and
Marvin
he's
was
like,
supposed
"Oh,
to come over and go fishing with me. Well, we were all gone to the hospital, and
Yeah.
I forgot all about fucking Marvin. So Marvin comes in and, hey, Reid, where you at? Where
This,
you at,
is
man?
this old man Marvin?
No,
No,
he's
no, no.
my age. And me and him worked. And just first day we've had off in 6 months. We're going to go fishing. So he goes in there and he's, hey, where you at? And he goes in that back bedroom and there's full of blood in the floor. He goes over to the bathroom and there's bloody handprints on the side of the deal over there. And he goes, what the fuck? That motherfucker done chopped this son of a bitch up. So it had, and so I finally realized that, oh shit, I gotta call Marvin. He goes, yeah, you motherfucker. I've been sitting at the goddamn phone or at the TV for 2 days, looking on the news, watching news. I thought you chopped that son of a bitch up. Took me an hour to wash all my fingerprints off everything. He said I drove all the way to fucking Holiday, and then I remembered that I touched the cabinet, so I had to go back over there and clean the cabinet. I said, man, you're a good motherfucker. Got a good friend.
You are.
That is a good friend.
Thanks,
That's the guy I
Exactly.
want.
She's telling
So
them.
I'm telling this story, and Marvin's like the best punchline of it all. And to these women that are from all over, and none of them are country bumpkins like me, but all good people. And then so the tagline of the entire
rally
trip
cry.
was "Be like Marvin."
Be like Marvin.
Be
So
like
we were like
Marvin.
drinking and having a good time, and then one of the girls was just like, "Hey, you know what? Just be like Marvin." And we were like, "To Marvin." And so
Poor
then
Marvin's.
they were
fucking-
like, "Wait a second, is Marvin still around? You know him?" I was like, "Yeah, he's still around. He's my dad's buddy still." And they were like, "What's Marvin look like?" I was like, "Marvin looks exactly what you think Marvin
Right,
looks
yeah,
like."
yeah. Whatever you
And I
have in
showed
your
him the
head, that's
picture,
how
and he had
Marvin
a-
looks.
Yeah, he had a PBR tank top on and a cigar in his
a
hand.
cigar and a captain's hat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's Marvin.
So yeah, it kind of became the hashtag of the whole thing. And then I saw on their Facebook they were like uploading pictures, and it was
told
like hashtag be like
Be
Marvin.
like
They're
Marvin.
gonna have to get a shirt with
Yeah.
that picture on it.
That
next
exact
time.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about Marvin in that fucking place. Like, what all did I touch?
No, he went through and,
Oh yeah,
and wiped
he was in
his
a pan.
handprints off.
Say he sat there in front of the TV for 2 days while Archer Kennedy man was arrested for chopping his wife up. And,
Second set of fingerprints
Yeah.
had been
Yeah.
discovered on the crime.
yeah, there
Well-
were 2 sets of fingerprints.
And then the funny thing about it too is like that all came to bite me in the ass later on because I have an Archer County birth certificate. Well, they don't have a hospital or anything. So when the registrar at the time filled out my birth certificate, he'd probably done like 2 or 3 in his entire time working at the courthouse. And he didn't sign it and he didn't put his registrar number. But it got sent off to vital statistics and everything. And I had gotten my social security card fine and my driver's license fine. But then we're trying to move to Japan when I'm 24 years old. And they're like, denied. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? And then I have to go to base, and the base is like trying to figure this all out. And then they found out it's because he never signed it. And they were like, I don't know how you have a
So you have an
driver's
open
license.
birth certificate?
Well, kinda. And then Karen Winter at the courthouse had to like call Austin. She was like on the phone and everything. I'm pregnant with Ellie at this time. James is already over in Japan. I'm just trying to get a passport to go over there. And
I'll be damned. I didn't even know that.
yeah, I have like a filled out like 2-paragraph worded thing that Vital Statistics told her to type up and embossed on, and it's like stapled to my birth certificate. And she was like, "Do not lose this." It took me like 9 months to get that.
Jesus.
passport.
When
So
that
your
went-
birth
when-
certificate's got a stapled piece of paper.
Yes.
And does it
And
give the details about the birth and stuff?
No, well, I don't know. I'll have to reread it.
Does
I'll,
it,
I'll
does it
try to
have my
send you a
name
picture.
signature on it?
So my
Your
question,
signature's on it, but the registrar that
guy that-
filed it at the courthouse didn't sign it.
my question is so you were born at home.
Yeah.
They put you in an ambulance, and they
go
took
to
you from an
Wichita.
ambulance to Wichita Falls.
Yep, that's right.
So you were born at Bethania Hospital, basically, because
No, I was born.
born.
But
at
but
home,
did you go to Bethania?
Yeah, at the
Because that was the
time.
only one that delivered
General.
at the time. Well,
General.
General didn't deliver babies back then. It was just
He
Bethania.
done been delivered.
Yeah. it
No,
was
so you
General.
went to General, not Bethania then?
No, General's the one that delivered babies.
No, it was
Bethania did.
Bethania.
Dude, I had
Tony was born in Bethania, not General.
both of my kids were born.
Oh,
All
well,
my kids were born
back in the day,
General.
when we were kids growing up, you couldn't be born at General. It was just at Bethania at the time in the 70s.
All my kids born in.
That's later. That's what I'm
General.
saying. That was later. But back in the day, when me and you were kids
They
being
didn't
born.
even have Bethania when we were there.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Which one were my kids born at?
Your kids were born at Bethania. United Regional is what it's called now, but it was Bethania Hospital. It's an
In
old
the 90s, it
Catholic
was
hospital.
General.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But in the 60s and 70s, you got born at Bethania. They don't even have General Hospital no more. It's gone.
I know General was the first one built. That
Here we go.
before Bethania.
I'm not even going to argue with you about this shit because it don't matter. But my point was,
Andy and I are just
my
like,
question
whatever.
was,
I wasn't
is if
born
you're in
there.
an ambulance and that baby's born in an ambulance, does your birthplace go to that hospital you go to?
Wherever I cut the cord at.
That was my question.
That was what
It
they
would-
always
Okay.
say because
Your
that's-
birth
that's
certificate
what
would
I
be
was
the
getting
county.
to. That gal come in
that's
there
what
and
I meant.
asked me, said, "Hey, who's your doctor?" So we didn't have a doctor. I said, "Well, da," and went through the deal. And she goes, "Well, who cut the cord?" And I said, "Well, that would be me." She said, "Sign right here," and on it says delivering physician Johnny Clay Reid.
The birth certificate says full term, unsure. Prenatal care, none.
None.
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
But that's what I was wondering if
Yeah.
if we're a
It's
baby's
just-
born
it's
if
the
a
county.
baby's born in an ambulance, like we had a baby not long ago here that was born in the ambulance, but they took it to Seymour because they deliver babies in Seymour.
Oh.
So I didn't know if it would be a Baylor County or a Knox County deal. So, but you being born at the house in Archer City, they put you down as Archer County,
yeah.
instead
So
of
that's
at
where
the
my
hospital.
birth certificate was filed.
That,
as
that's
Archer County.
interesting. I did not.
Yeah.
And you are
So-
officially on a birth certificate. Not a lot of men can say they cut an
Dr.
umbilical
Reid.
cord on a baby.
That's what I
Dr.
used
Reid.
to introduce
Clothespin
them,
and
Dr.
a-
Reid. Yeah.
A clothespin and a serrated steak knife, I think.
Serrated
Was it
steak
hard to
knife.
cut?
No, I tied it in a knot. No, I tied
You
the
did.
medical card.
It wasn't
yeah.
a clothespin. Okay.
Yeah, because her papa was with me, and he was vapor locking. He was.
I would have done
And
the
he
same
goes-
thing.
He goes. I said, "Go get me a
Well,
a
Jake
knife."
is
And he
there
goes-
too.
He goes, "What?" I said, "Go get me a knife. I gotta cut this fucking cord." And he goes, he comes back with that serrated steak knife, and I'm, motherfucker. So I'm sawing on this son of a bitch, and I mean, it was not an easy fucking tour. And I was sawing on that son of a bitch, and I finally got it cut, and then I tied it in a knot. I told Brandy, I said, "Hey." Of course, she was already bawling, so I knew that was good. Her airways were clean off.
Right.
Got her all cleaned up, and I said, "All right, now," and I wrapped her up like a cocoon. I said, "Go in there, turn that heater on in the bathroom," and I said, "All that placenta and shit's got to come out." And that was that's another friend moment
That's the second birth, basically.
because it's like 2 days that some bitch had been marinating in that toilet. And Marvin come over, he come over there
Oh
and
my
helped me clean that
gosh.
fucking toilet out. Yeah, and he's like,
2 days of marinade.
we had pregnant clothes. We had
cow, yes.
yeah. And I don't get sick, but I guarantee a placenta after 2 days in the hot is fucking bad.
That heater was probably still on too.
Oh
I
yeah,
left the heater running.
Crispy on the top there.
boy, it was fucking nasty.
You didn't want to eat
What
it.
is your in-laws like? Are they normal? Well, the dad has. They're
Yeah,
professional people.
he was an A-10 pilot and F-16
What
pilot.
What does your mother-in-law do?
She's passed away now, but she was a teacher as well.
I bet they loved some Clay
So,
when they
well,
first.
that
They
was
probably
like
really did
something-
love you, didn't they?
Oh,
But it was
yeah,
probably a love that
James's
took a while.
dad is pretty much Clay made over. Me and him are.
But
a
I
lot
was
alike.
very nervous. Like, well, we don't have that military,
Discipline.
background
Yeah.
or anything of like knowing anything. I guess like we didn't have a family member that was really in it that I knew at least. And so Regina, James's mom, and back then also, like when she was in at the height of his dad's career, that was a different Air Force for the wife. Like if you wanted to rank up and things like that, your wife also had to play like that political,
Right.
whatever.
A lot
side
of
it.
garden parties and
Yeah.
Exactly. And so when we were like registering to get married, or registering for our stuff and all that, she was like telling me I needed napkin holders. I was, what the hell is napkin holders? I thought she meant those ones that are like at the.
We're not using
cafe.
paper towels?
Yeah, they're like at the cafe in the middle that you just put your napkin in. That's why I was like, oh, they sell those at Dillard's. That's so sweet. Oh my gosh, I thought we had to go to
Fucking
restaurant
hillbilly.
supplier. And she's like, no, like the napkin holders that go around the linen napkins. I was like, linen napkins?
Don't need
And
ketchup
then I
and
was
mustard
kind
on
of
the
like,
table
what the
too.
hell have I gotten myself into? And it wasn't anything like that anymore. It's much more chill and relaxed and stuff like that. But I was kind of like, this is what you want to marry into, James? Like, are
Be
you
cautious.
sure?
Be careful what you wish for.
Are you sure? Yeah.
So go back
and
to
he's
this.
very introverted and quiet too, so I was like a little nervous for him.
Go back to this birth, because that's what I can't get my head around. She just went to the bathroom and
She didn't know she was
did-
pregnant with me.
Didn't know she was pregnant. Her mom was real tall with big ass giant titties. And this I'm going, even when she was pregnant with
ass
Jake,
titties.
you couldn't hardly tell she was pregnant.
Really?
Carries real long.
Yeah.
But now, a month before, I asked her, and I got my ass chewed out because of,
That was rude. You called her fat.
With her?
Motherfucker.
you asked
Yeah.
with her a month
Yeah,
before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but
You
yeah.
told her she was fat.
No, I said, hey, motherfucker, you pregnant?
Hey.
Like I said, we were on touch and go times at the moment anyway.
I was born in September and they filed in November.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question if you know somebody, and I know you're going to tell me you do because she was a smoke show. Do you remember Kim Taylor? Blonde, blue eyes, beautiful girl.
No.
Okay, well.
I don't
anyways,
remember
She
it.
went to Old High, graduated here. She's passed on. She was a beautiful lady. I saw her at Cheyenne one night. I did that same thing. Except I went up to her and I was like, oh, you're pregnant.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
hell.
learned a lesson then.
R.I.P.
I've learned that.
But my hand,
You don't
know,
ask unless
when
you're
you touch a
100%
pregnant
sure.
woman, it's like touching the guy with an old beer belly, hard as a fucking rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
When your fingers go in, I was like, oh, you come out. And then she didn't do like you did. She cried. I'm pregnant, I'm fat, Jeff. And she ran off and I felt bad.
I'm pregnant. I'm just
Yeah.
fat. You bastard.
Last thing I ever said to her before she passed away, I always felt bad about that.
Oh.
You know, I was going to ask you, I figured you knew her. She's a really good looking lady. But
Yeah, there's
beautiful.
this one guy here recently that I fucking, I told her, I said, God damn, you ever gonna have that baby? Because I've been seeing her with this big ass. And I
You
mean, she
did
got
not.
I swear to God. And this some bitch has got like a beer belly, is
Yeah.
all it is.
Oh, my
and I mean, it is just looks exactly like she's pregnant. God damn, you ever gonna have that baby? I'm not pregnant. And apparently, she had been told that before because it didn't bother her. I'm
Remember
not
at the
pregnant.
beginning when you asked me if he's done anything to embarrass me?
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there.
There it was.
What about him when he just said
Well,
about
I don't get embarrassed, but that got me. I was like, oh, sorry, I was just kidding. I was just fucking with you.
now, I saw a
can't
little
walk that
embarrassment in your eyes when he mentioned your mom's big titties, too.
Kelly's gonna wring your neck for that one.
Yeah, that's because you know. I mean,
Well, yeah, she did have big titties.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Big, tall, skinny gal, big titties.
But it's funny the way you will describe people. He's just I'm like, well, that's
You know
all
what?
right.
You know why people like your dad, though? Because your dad is honest.
I did
And
not
we live
know
in a-
anybody liked her dad.
We're in a world now where there's not very many people who are honest.
No, that's true.
People
yeah.
are like, oh, he's so offensive. Because I get that all the time. Because I a lot like Clay in a lot of ways. And people are like, I can't believe you said that shit. Fucking
That's why I
true.
like Sean Strickland.
People that speak them.
Oh yeah.
That he don't pull no fucking
But people's too damn sensitive and they shouldn't be. So that's the truth. I want to. So I liked your dad, your description about your mom's titties and everything. I thought it was wonderful. So I thought it was really good. Andy's always asked me about that. He goes, I just don't understand how she didn't know she's pregnant. She had big titties and she was tall.
You know
and
what's
thin.
ironic? About a month after that, a buddy of mine's wife did the same goddamn thing. I thought we had the freakiest deal ever, and I'll be damned if she didn't do the same
You know
thing.
what ticked me off about the whole thing is then I was in college and TLC came out with that damn show. It was like, I didn't know I was pregnant. And I was like, Mom, please, we've got to go.
We got to
on
do this.
This is our chance, our time to shine.
Yeah.
And they'd come to Archer City and then go see me in college and be like, where is she now? I'm like, look, I made it.
Doc
And she was
Reed.
like, no,
Oh, Doc
absolutely
Reed
not.
with my
Yeah.
brand glove.
That's, you know what? Now that I'm thinking that, that's probably why she didn't. She was like, no, because then they have to interview your dad.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what I
They didn't
don't
want to make her dad famous.
Did she have a lot of resentment towards your dad?
went like
Like in her
Through-
last couple of years, or was she not? Or
no.
She got to.
So you know, like nowadays, co-parenting is the terminology we all use, and we are all hunky dory, and we have shirts that says bonus mom and bonus dad, and we're here whatever makes the child happy. We didn't have that shit. We had mom like stomping out and cussing at dad because who knows what at a
the middle
football
of
field.
football
Yeah.
field. You ain't none of a motherfucking
And I'm
sperm
sitting over
donor.
there
You ain't no
swinging on the
goddamn
swing
daddy.
set. Yeah, and I'm sitting over there swinging
hell
on the
that
swing
come
set.
from? I don't
And one of
know.
my friends is like, Haley, I think your mom's yelling at your dad out there. And I was like, yeah, probably so.
Probably.
It's all right. Shit happens.
So the
I don't know.
neighbors enjoyed having Clay as a neighbor. A lot of stuff to watch and laugh at and talk about.
Sit on the
Yeah,
porch and drink
yeah.
tea. What are they gonna do tonight?
But when the shit hit the fan, I was the one she called. Like I say, she
That's
got married
true.
a
She had
couple
some
times.
shitty
She had some
boyfriends
shitty
or
boyfriends.
whatever, yeah.
She called me up in a minute, and I'd be there.
You
and
told
I'd
me
run
one
up,
time
yeah.
that you told an old boy one time he said something about her and you said, listen,
Oh yeah, you know exactly.
I can say whatever the fuck I want to say
Yeah.
about her, but if you say anything bad about her, I'm gonna whip your ass. That's my
Oh,
kid's
it's like,
mom.
Yeah,
it's like your
yeah, you
sibling
know
type
it.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the guy very well, and I won't mention his name.
Yeah.
I don't want
I
to
just said a girl's name who is fat and dead now, and you won't even mention his name.
Yeah. No, I ain't going to. Yeah, I've been catching so much hell about throwing everybody
Saying
under the
people's
bus.
names, yeah.
But this guy's a good friend of mine. But yeah,
I got a
But
message.
I told him. I did tell him. He said, "Yeah, that fucking cunt." I said, "Hey."
Whoa, hey,
I said, "Listen, dude." I said, "She's still the mom of my child." This was way before Kelly even come around.
Right.
We hadn't been apart, and he had that dated her after me. And so anyway, yeah, that fucking cunt, dude. Still the mother of my child. Don't be fucking da da da. And he goes, "Oh, okay, yeah." And I said, and he did it again. I said, "The last time. That's the last time, Sonny." I said, "At that time,
Sonny.
I'm gonna fucking knock your ass out." And so to save him, I got up and I left and went to the bathroom. And guess what?
He did it again.
This motherfucker followed me to the bathroom, and I've got my Peter out taking a piss. And he goes, "I'll tell you another thing, that motherfucker come back." I got my weenie hanging out, and I catch him, and I lay him there on the floor. And his brother comes. I said, "Man, I told it." He goes, "I know."
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Might as well piss on him for dominance.
At least you didn't teabag him.
Yeah, no.
You got an opportunity.
Have you seen the video of the guy that thinks he got teabagged? He's asleep on the couch, and the buddies come up and they get a fucking hot dog and they put it in the microwave
Oh
for like
my
10
gosh.
seconds.
Oh, no,
And so
I
they get up
killed
there
him.
and he's like that. They take that wiener and the guy
Oh,
unzips
my
his
gosh.
pants and the guy pops the wiener and does around his lips and they cuts him at him and the guy opens his nose and the guy jumps
I've
up.
done that. I've done it to where where you put the put their hand in a
Warm water?
warm water,
Yes.
and then have your Peter hanging
Yeah.
out, and then we go, "Oh yeah."
Is it this
I mean, you could take the biggest pussy.
Yeah, watch this. No, that's not it.
not
That's
it?
not the one. This one guy's a fucking completely asleep and they rub it on his lips and he's like, he kind of wakes up
Oh
and then he's
my
like,
gosh.
then he's trying to figure out what's going on and then he realizes he
The
might
That's
have.
fear.
when you take the biggest of pussies and turn them into a fucking. They grow courage and hurt. They'll kick your ass over something like that. I've seen some little bitty motherfuckers that turn into fucking
Come on, glue.
assassins, and I would too.
Fuck yeah.
If I thought you were putting your penis on my face, we're gonna have problems.
I watched a good friend of mine, a guy you know, and I'm not gonna mention his name. He's passed on too. We were at the Atterbury grain elevator in Wichita one night, and there was a guy and another guy together up there, and one guy was pleasuring another man. And so my buddy thought it'd be funny, and so he took a beer bottle and he hit the guy upside the head with the beer bottle. And the guy come to and said, "Listen, there's two things I like to do: is suck dick and fight." And he whooped my buddy Greg's ass up and down that fucking place. And then when he got done, Greg's like, "Well, thanks a lot for helping. I don't think that guy whipping my ass."
I don't need my reputation soiled because of that.
That guy beat my ass like he did yours, and he did.
Every time I hear the term Atterbury building, I always think about Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm went out when she was going to score at Notre Dame. We had a big party. They had a party over by Notre Dame. And they said, all right, we're going to Atterbury. We're going to Atterbury. We're going to party at the top of the Atterbury.
That's a dangerous place to be.
Oh, yeah. We all went up there. Of course, there was a lot of shit went on that Mia Hamm didn't want no fucking part of. And, of course, we were all trying to get with her. She wasn't going to have no part of our ass. There was a lot of weed being smoked and that. It didn't take her long. She was gone.
She was out.
Yeah, she done
Is
figured.
it- They got that thing chained up. I drove by there a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
they had it chained
got
up then.
fenced up. They have fencing they built around it even. Back then, there was no fence when I was in school.
It was
but
very dangerous because you got the
Holes
big
in there,
holes.
yes.
And, you'd be walking across. Wow!
Yeah,
Where,
you know,
on the stairs?
Where the
no
silos, they used to have silos in
So
there. Yeah, just big.
grain
Yeah, green deal.
holes bigger than this room in
Oh
there.
yeah, just big circle hole. You big
And
car.
it'd go down 4 stories or something, or 5 to a concrete floor. I mean, it was all over. That whole thing was like that.
Could
But
you imagine? You got Olympic. She was an Olympian, wasn't she?
Yeah.
she was an Olympian. She
Could have.
was,
yeah.
If she'd have just fucking caught one of those holes, her
Been
career
over.
trajectory would have been totally different.
Yep.
All been
Yeah, man,
Clay
Steve
Reid's
Wright.
fault.
We used to go up there. We'd take dates. We'd go up there and we'd take
Big spender.
Yeah. Well, we had a good time. We go up there. We take a barbecue grill. Take a barbecue grill up there and
Jesus.
folding chairs.
Made you-
They used to lay out the
Yeah,
3-piece,
yeah.
lay them out there, and we cook steaks up there. Man, you see forever. It's bad.
It's a beautiful place. I mean, that is.
We'd smoke dope and fucking get freaky with it up there. It was cool. Yeah.
Carrying a barbecue grill. I've been up there a lot of times, but I never seen
No,
nobody
we carried
grill it
it
out.
once. We didn't take it down.
He left it for
stayed
next
there,
time.
yeah.
Up there, yeah.
Somebody from Wichita's gonna listen and say,
Yeah,
I wonder who brought that fucking grill up there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, now we know the guy. He's probably been sitting up there 40 years.
I wonder how old that place is. That sucker's been
I don't
around.
know. been
I
there
can't
a-
believe it hadn't fallen down.
That sucker's solid. I hid behind one tornado chasing in Watauga, Oklahoma the other day. And let me tell you something. That some bitch ain't gonna go down. Them things are like those windmill blades.
Yeah.
That's there for life.
No, did you see the one
No,
that
yeah,
Reid Timmer had? That
What?
video of the tornado hitting that wind turbine?
No. This is
Disintegrated it.
No. I wouldn't talk about the wind turbine, but the blades are gonna last forever, whatever they're made out of. This old place right here, you'd have to demolish that thing with explosives to
Yeah,
knock it down. It's
Their style.
Yes,
all
it's
them,
concrete,
All them
all the- yeah.
goddamn grain elevators like that are. Yeah, and I guess they do. Because you see all them steel ones. They collapse all
Yeah.
the time, fuck up all the time. But you ain't collapsing them.
No, I hid behind one there. They chasing. He's like, "What are you
Yeah.
doing?" I said, "Listen, this some bitch ain't going
Yeah, I
nowhere."
guarantee you, it won't
know?
make that some bitch wiggle.
Now, you recently got your ass whooped. I saw it on your TikTok. Big old
That
bull was out.
That Bremer bull.
Oh no, I almost got my ass whooped. All he did was blow boogers in my ass. That was a miracle. That son of a bitch, I called my buddy. Of course, I had anytime, sheriff's department, anytime there's cattle out, they call me, which I tell them to, because I don't want anybody to get killed, even if it's my cow or somebody else's. And anyway, it was Scott Belcher called me and said, "Hey man, sheriff's department called, said there's a big Bramer bull out on."
It was a big one too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that video did not do it justice. Some bitch was fucking giant, and nobody has a Bramer bull anymore, and so I knew who it was. I said, "Hell, it's Tommy Burnett." Well, Tommy lives up by Burnett. I said, "Hey, you got a big Bramer bull?" "Oh yeah, I got 2 of them over there on the south side." I said, "All right." Well, one of them's out on Highway 82, right there down there. I
awful
said,
place.
Big one.
"I'm heading that way. I'll go." Keep
Where
them
was
off
it?
the-
Where were you at? I saw the
1
video.
mile west of Dundee, basically damn near in Dundee.
So on 82. Then
You know
Fort
where
West.
that big $1 million home they built?
Yes, that's in the middle of the road now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right there across from it. And you can't get into Bardage because it's steep and it's
Yeah.
wetter and shit. So I told him, I said, "Hell, I'll go up there and keep him off the highway because his boy was catching a horse and gonna come help put it up." Well, I got there, the bulls just standing there, and the other bulls on the inside of the fence, and they'd been fighting, wipe the fence out. But the fence post was down, so I thought, hell, I'd go over there and just put my foot down there and let him walk back, because he's wanting to go back in. And I called Tommy, thank God I did. And I said, "Hey, Tommy." I said, "This bull gentle." He goes, "Oh, hell yeah, that's some bitch eat cake out of here. That motherfucker gentle. So I had my cake trailer on the back, and I get a mineral sack, empty mineral sack. I put some cake in it and go soak him. And I walked down that fucking hill. And as soon as I got to the bottom of that fucking hill, that's here that some bitch comes barking and running. And I throw that fucking sack at it. And of course it's wet. And I got tennis shoes on. I busted my ass. And I'm crawling on my hands and knees. That some bitch is riding my ass. And I crawl up in the back of that fucking pickup. He starts hitting my goddamn truck.
Imagine driving down the road seeing that
Oh
shit.
yeah, the people are all slowing down, laughing their ass
There was
off.
a lady that pulled over,
Oh,
thinking she was going to help.
That's
Yeah.
later on in the story. I crawled out pickup and said, "Hey, you lying motherfucker. This some bitches eat me." He goes, "No, that's it." I said, "Did you hear that?" Because that bull's still hitting my
Right,
truck.
yeah.
That's your fucking bull trying to tear my front bumper off. Well, goddamn, he's usually not like that. Motherfucker.
Well, you get over here and fix it.
Yeah, so I said over there. So then the bull, Finally started headed east. Well, down there by the barn at the northeast corner of that pasture, there's a wire gate. So he's heading that way. So I said, all right, he'll go there and I'll open that gate. Well, he gets almost there, and the cows are on the inside. So he won't go any further. He's going to stay. Well, then he winds up going behind me. Well, I can't turn around. So I got to go up there to the ag barn, get on the other side of the highway, and come back around and get going straight back east again. Well, in the meantime, while I'm going over there, I'll be damned if I see this little white car stop. And because the bull had walked up to the shoulder and stops right over, and I'm going, holy shit. So I, whoa, and this beautiful little brown-headed girl gets out, and she's wearing a little mini skirt. She gets out, and I'm going, get in your fucking car! Get in your fucking car! And I'm going, this little girl's fixing to die. And she walks around there. She got her door open. She walks around in front of that damn
Ain't it crazy how
car,
oblivious
and
people
she
are?
goes, hey! And when she goes, hey, old Genghis Khan, come to her ass now. And she immediately turned, slipped on them little old pumps she's wearing, and fucking bloodied her goddamn knees she's crawling away on that shoulder on that deal. And luckily the bull turned and went on down in there. And she goes, and I come up there and I said, goddamn Stacey, dude, you looking at something? She goes, what the fuck was that? I said, that's a Bramer bull. She goes, that's a bull? I thought it was a cow. I said, how them fucking two jingle deals on the back end? Oh my God, I thought he was going to kill me. Look at he done to my knees. I said, oh yeah, you got me back down there. Yeah, and then his boy Colton shows up, jumps out of the horse, that fucking old, he just walked right on down there and walked right in the gate.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, fucking I hate cows. There's a reason we eat them. And that's why I want to go to work at Walmart at the fucking as a Walmart greeter. Motherfucker.
How did the little girl go ahead and leave?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't it amazing though how people like that just don't?
You'll see it with buffalo too.
Yeah.
Like people will be out.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Oh, yeah, it's like
Yes.
that's why people die. Them buffalo every year get going.
I was going to get rich. I've had 2 moments in my life that I was going to become rich off YouTube. The first time we were in the Wichita Mountains tornado chase, and we're going through there, and there's a bunch of buffaloes. Tony goes, how much money you give me to go over and slap that one on the ass?
Oh,
I said, whatever's in my wallet, I will do it, but you got to let me film it. He goes, how much you got in your wallet? I was like, I don't know, like $200. Deal. And I don't remember who was with me. I was like, turn your fucking camera on. This is going to be a classic. So Tony got out of the truck. Tony was going to go up and slap that fucker. Right? Some bitch spun around on him a couple times. So I come back. He goes, that ain't worth $200 fucking dollars. He goes, that some bitch is a whole lot quicker than I thought he was. Then about 3 months later, we're up in Oklahoma. We're looking for some hunting property up there. And there's a freaking porcupine in a tree. Tony goes, I'm going to try to catch that son of a bitch. I go, what? He goes, I'm going to try to rope that fucker. And he had a little rope on him. I go, what are you going to do with it? He goes, who else has ever fucking got a damn rope on a porcupine? I go, I don't know, but this is going to be worth some money too. We'll put the camera up there. Tony walked all the way up there, got up under, had me stick in his rope, and there's a fucking beehive. It looked like a porcupine, but it's a beehive.
Gosh.
And he turned around and got back and said, that's a beehive. Fucking shit. Watch 2 times I blew it. Kind of like you with the old troll girl. You know, you missed your chances.
I've got to tell y'all a story before, and this is true life before I forget about it. Because I can't leave here without telling you that I was at the cafe the other day, and a buddy of mine was telling this story. We got a friend of ours, and she's older now, but she's wilder than fucking March Hare.
I figured you was going to say an old horse lady.
Actually, the word is feral. She is feral as fuck.
Oh,
she's an
my
old
gosh, I
horse
know.
trainer. She's done it all, you know, and she's a good hand.
So not sexually wild, just wild.
No, just wild. I mean, like one day, you know, they working cattle. We was working cattle, and you know, got done. Everybody's kicked back with a belly full. She reaches over there, plucks a piece of her hair out. She got long hair, ratty. She pulls that hair out, and starts flossing her teeth with that son of a bitch. That kind of thing. Well, anyway, like
she's not a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, no. Well, she had a bunch of damn horses. Of course, she'd get down, and all of her horses are getting on. And she trained some really good horses. I used to borrow some. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go back. This is some bitch. Well, the other day, she calls my buddy, says, oh my God, you get over here, my goddamn horse died. My horse is dead. You know, horse she's had like 30 goddamn years. My horse is dead. I got to get my horse. You know, I need you to bury it. He goes, oh, goddamn. I said, I can't get in there. He said, I got a bulldozer. I ain't got no damn. You need somebody with a backhoe to get in there them lots and get him out of there. And just, okay. So he give him got backhoe numbers now. Well, then about 20 minutes later, she calls and she's in a fucking panic. She said, get over here. My goddamn barn's on fire. Blah, blah. She didn't want to buy, she didn't have the money to bury the son of a bitch, so she thought she'd just fucking cremate the son of a bitch. So she goes and gets 5 gallons of gas and pours all over this goddamn horse. Well, then she lights that fucking
Should
horse.
be laughing at this lady.
And this fucking horse jumps up. The son of a bitch ain't fucking dead. The bitch is sleeping. So then the horse is on fire, runs up under the barn, catches the fucking hay on fire, and she's going, this is a horse that she fucking loves. And she's trying to pour this fucking water on us. So this guy, this horse is going, what the fuck? What the fuck? Goddamn. And I was like, no way this is fucking true. And one of the guys said, oh yeah, I went by there. He was charred black pretty good.
The horse lived?
Lived, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Can you imagine like the fucker on fire?
Yeah, you're the horse that you've had 30 fucking years.
Loved it.
I can relate because I'm going to tell you a story. Back in November, I go to preg cows. We're going to preg cows. And one of my best horses is a horse named Fancy. And a big old good son of a bitch. I come in there to catch him at 4:30 in the morning, and goddamn Fancy's laying there dead in the lot. I said, hey, motherfucker, get up. Because he don't ever lay down.
Yeah.
I said, hey, motherfucker, get up. He dead. I said, no way. So I start filming it. Gonna make me a TikTok. That's my dead horse,
Cash it in, buddy.
So I said, all right, you motherfucker, finally go. And I kick him in the balls. He dead. He never wiggles a fucking toe. I said,
Wiggle his
God damn.
toes.
I said, this motherfucker. I can't believe this son of a bitch for a good horse. I go over there and I kick him in the mouth. He dead. And I pick his fucking leg up. I said, yeah, that's one of the best goddamn horses. It's a bad day. You start your day off on your best fucking horse is dead here in the lot. I said, but the bad thing is I still got to go to work. So one of you other motherfuckers got to go to work today. So I go back in there to get some feed. And when that first fucking kernel of grain hit that goddamn bottom of that bucket of fish, hey, what we got? We're feeding shit today? I mean, I just kicked this son of a bitch in the mouth, in the fucking dick, and that's all in bit. So I can relate, but thank God I didn't pour that.
Fire wasn't your next idea.
I heard people setting the cat on fire.
Don't you notice that some bitch like to shit all over? I laughed till I fucking hurt.
And so the insurance adjuster's like, well, yeah, so so you set the horse on fire, and then he ran in the
How
barn.
did you burn this barn down?
Get a couple things straight here.
Oh my God. Yeah, this little bitch, she's a little wild. And I could go all day on stories of that song.
Well, that was a pretty good one. If you got one better than that, I'd love to hear it. God almighty.
That's probably pretty good.
And see a horse on fire running, galloping
That's
around.
awful.
I was paid to see that look on her face.
When that thing rose up.
R.I.P.
Oh no! God damn.
Seabiscuit, I was kidding. Seabiscuit, stop.
Did she get it put out?
Huh?
Did she get it put out, or did somebody have to come help her?
I never got the rest of that story. By this time, I was like Jeff. I was fucking rolling. I was hurting so bad. Yeah, I was telling my buddy this. I called a cowboy buddy of mine, and we got telling stories back and forth. He told me about it. Yeah, I had a buddy. He was ugly. He didn't have a whole lot, and I won't even use his real name, but say Homer or whatever. And old Homer, he was ugly. I mean, he didn't have no, and never had a girlfriend. I don't think he ever had a girlfriend in his life. And one day, goddamn, he come up to me. He said, "Man, I got me a girlfriend." Really? Who's your girlfriend? I said, "Oh, so and so." And he goes, "Well, goddamn, Homer, she fucked every son of a bitch in town." He goes, "Yeah, but Wellington's not that big."
That's all how you look at things.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you miss this when you're gone?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets to be the entertainment, I'm sure, when she goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because they ain't never seen the likes of her. I guarantee you that.
Had you heard the horse story yet?
Yeah, he told us the other day. He
now you
came
got-
home
you
and
got
was
stuff
like,
to take home.
"Yeah,
Got a story to take
I
home.
know."
with
I'm
you.
like, I'm just gonna be like, "Guys, you're never gonna believe this story my dad told me."
Yeah.
Does your husband ever, does anything you ever tell him, does it shock him, or is he just...
No, not really.
He probably tells people, I've got the coolest old father-in-law you're ever going to imagine. Old cowboy in West Texas
pretty
tells
much.
you every fucking story. You just...
Yeah.
Bo James, his crew's pretty cool too. You know, he don't ever say hardly 5 words around us. You know, shit. You know, that's just top guy. But I guarantee you that motherfucker's probably a wild. They got a friend of theirs named Steve Bowie, ain't that his name?
Yeah.
And he's like the technical guru. They used to make videos.
Oh,
You got one of them videos up
that's
there?
actually, yeah, I'll
What
try
do
to
I
find
type
it.
in?
Oh my god! And he's always the token Mexican guy on the videos.
Token Mexican guy.
Yeah, yeah.
James is. James
what
is
would you
Spanish.
look under on YouTube?
Is
They
it on
made them
TikTok
YouTube.
or
Are you
YouTube?
talking about the one that you made with him?
No, that's one. No, the one they.
James and Dad made a video together. So James's high school best friends all made these YouTube videos together out of boredom in high school, and then as they like got older,
One
and
where they were cooking hot dogs.
I don't remember which one that was.
So you said your husband's Spanish or Mexican?
Spanish.
Okay.
I thought he was a Native American, and golly, I thought
We
I
can
was.
say Indian on our
Fuck, I thought he was
podcast.
Italian. I don't know. Shit.
What'd you say? We could
We
say,
can say Indians. Yeah, we don't give. We talk about it in
But-
church today. Indians.
And
You did.
I made his mom mad. I was like, oh, my bad, my bad. But yeah, they would make these YouTube videos together, and so James made one with Dad and surprised me at I think it was my rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, you know that song, "Why You Gotta Be So Rude."
Yeah.
It's
We're
about
trying
a
to get the
guy
guy to marry. Yeah.
asking the father-in-law to.
I have never heard this song.
Why
Okay.
you gotta be so
You
You
get it
fucking
up?
heard
Well, who do I send it to? I'll try to find
it.
probably
You
Google it.
should see my laptop.
it.
but
Okay, let
man,
me try to
they
find it
make-
first. Go ahead.
They make some
Is it on
fucking
YouTube or
videos.
what? I could look it
Yeah,
up.
but
maybe.
his
I wonder what they would be under their YouTube deal that he used to do. It was fucking hilarious. Yeah, like I say, James
I had
was
no
always.
idea they made this video, and then they
Yeah, we surprised them
surprised
at the reception.
everyone at the
And what was
reception.
bad is when they're doing it, you know, I've never been claustrophobic in my life. We do a scene in the cellar where he's kidnapped me and he's trying to convince me into marrying his daughter. And I'm like, fuck no, hell no. Why you got to be so rude, you know, da-da. And so anyway, they get me in this cellar. He's got me duct taped to this chair, duct taped down there, no problem. And then all of a sudden, they put that fucking duct tape over my thighs, and it was like the fucking walls caved in on me. Take it up! Take it up! Get it out! And I was like, what? I was like, I don't know what it is, dude. But I was cool because we're down in my cellar.
Yeah.
In my cellar. And I mean, I'm fucking duct taped. I'm doing this. But when they put that fucking duct tape on my mouth, and it was over, I lost my shit. So what we had to do,
Take it off.
and I was cool as long as they just taped it to my mustache to where it looked like it was there.
But it
That
just
was good.
bothered you the rest of the way?
But when it went down,
Yeah.
it was like, I was like, whoa.
We
can't find it.
talked about you yesterday. Wayne was here. We were at a deal together yesterday, and we talked about it. I asked him about the Bigfoot deal. He told me, he said, listen, I was asleep. But he said, Clay and Mitch were scared to death.
That son of a bitch was not asleep.
That's what he told me. And he said,
Yeah, like I say, both of them argue with it. I can remember. Matter of fact, you can go because the next day is when I wrote it on that deal. It's on record. You know, told the exact story. You know, it's been 15.
he told me, though, he said, I was asleep, but he said, them guys were scared to death.
Yeah.
Were you scared?
Hell yeah. I'm
That's what he
scared.
said. He said y'all were scared. He said there was
I've never been back there since.
He said obviously there was something that scared them.
I'm telling you, you knew. I mean, you just knew it. It wasn't something in the norm.
So I pulled up yesterday. They had the reunion in town yesterday, and at homecoming, Michelle was already there. So I went to the cafeteria to meet her at the school, and I pulled up in the parking lot, and someone else had pulled in right before me on down a little bit. And I look up, and the prettiest guy in the fucking world gets, you know, the old smile, the old walk and shit.
$1
I was
million
like,
smile.
there's old Wayne Hutch. What's up, buddy?
Oh, sexy.
Yeah.
Big sexy.
I told him, I said, well, look at you coming in here, all smiles. I said, just like 25 years ago when I first met you, get out of the car, got to be the best looking guy in the parking lot all time.
Oh, Wayne pulled. I'd like to have been his wingman back in the day. I bet he pulled in some women now. God damn. But hell, I think
I think him
shit,
and
he-
Kelly have been together
Yeah,
Yeah,
forever.
yeah.
Since she was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
I think she was a senior when they started dating.
They were a couple. He was
But yeah, he is.
older.
He's one of them Don Johnson guys. He
Oh,
walks
yeah.
in, he's the best looking guy in the bar
Old
always.
pretty boy Floyd Deluxe. Yeah.
Like, and he really looks good when he stands next to Mitch.
Yeah.
You know, Mitch ain't near as pretty as Wayne is.
I don't know. I've been saying that for years. That's why I was Mitch's wing guy. Because hell yeah.
Kim's got bad eyesight, so I can
Damn
figure
right.
it out.
Yeah, so does Kelly. We're the Lee brothers, ugly and fugly. Yeah.
Back to your story. We had a guy in town, and he was an old POW, wasn't he?
Oh yes, he did electric work for me out here. Really nice guy. And anytime he would get arrested by the police officers, he would be like, "Listen, if you cuff me in front. Do not put me
Please
behind
cuff me in front."
And you know, you get that young fucking cop. Fuck you! He does that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he beats the shit out of the car and everything else. Or if he just did it like that, but it was claustrophobic from when he was detained in Vietnam. He was a bunker rat. Really nice. He was a really nice guy.
Well,
I
I've
really
never
liked
been
him.
claustrophobic in my life, but I could see where a man would have a health problem.
But this
Because
guy, I
it-
mean, he wasn't, like Jeff said, he's fucking tunnel rats. He's probably 5'6", a short little guy, probably weighed 120 pounds. And if you cuffed him behind, he would tear your shit up.
Because it just would take him back to have a flashback. I had a guy that used to hunt with me all the time that was a POW, and they locked him in a bamboo cage, and it went back and forth in a tree. And when he would sit and look at, when you'd sit and talk to him, he'd move back and forth the whole time. Because that's what and I asked him about it one time. We got to be good enough friends with him. I asked him, I said, you always move back and forth. I said, what caused that? He said, when I was in Vietnam, he said, they put me in a cage. He says, I was in a cage for about 9 months. And he goes, I've never been the same when it comes to moving. I've got to constantly be moving the whole time. He says, it don't bother me thinking. I don't have, loud noises. No, but it was a nervous type twitch, but he would rock back and forth. And that's because he was in a tree in a cage. And I hate saying this because your husband's a pilot, and that's a shit that bothers me, and especially today's fucking government.
Yeah, my quarterback, Mike Kent, he was that way since birth. Ever since I know him, if he's ever sitting, he's just like
Back and
this
forth?
all the time. No matter
What caused
where.
that? He
I don't
didn't
know. He's a retard. Yeah, that's what we used to tell him.
Have you been around Chance Pruitt much? Chance has got a tick like this.
Oh, yeah?
And he does this from football, from Joe Bob Tyler. Got him a head drill, I guess, for Oklahoma drill or something. But Chance has got Chance will do that little tick every once in a while. Tony's better at explaining about it.
The Tourette's.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I'll tell you a funny story about Chance. We were playing basketball one time at First Baptist. We'd go play on like Wednesday nights. We'd go play, and Chance shoots the ball right-handed. Then he shoots it left-handed. He goes, look, y'all, I'm bisexual. He meant to say ambidextrous.
Oh my god!
Look, I'm bisexual. He shot it with the
Never living that down.
Yeah, that was over. That's like Haley, when she was in college.
Oh, you're
weird
bisexual
face.
now.
Oh, where are you
Well,
going?
they thought she was a lesbian all that time in college.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they wind up.
Oh, was you playing softball?
What was you playing
At that
baseball
time I
one
was.
day, and the guy found out she had a boyfriend?
Oh no, I was so I went to little junior college, and I was on the softball team for a little bit, and I had a little side business, and I would do people's laundry. And I was doing this one dude's laundry, one of the baseball dudes, and he said something. He was like, "Oh, are you about a party? Like, oh, are you going to the party this weekend?" I was like, "No, I'm going up to Colorado Springs. My boyfriend has a home game I'm going to go to." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, he plays there at the Air Force Academy." "You got a boyfriend?" I was like,
Thought she was
I
lesbian.
was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Huh, I thought you was gay this whole time." I was like, "What the hell do you mean?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know. You're hanging out with all the other lesbians." And I was like, "Well, one's my roommate in the dorms, and then by association, I'm just like with the other
Yeah.
ones, and they're really funny."
Right.
And,
I've always liked lesbians.
he
I've been
goes-
one my whole life.
That's right.
and he was like, "Well, I don't know. You're a catcher too." And I was like, "What the hell?"
Physical
And, so,
position.
and then he was like, "How serious is that boyfriend of yours?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm doing your dirty
Open for
laundry.
business.
I'm not."
That's a
even
smart girl,
interested."
though, doing laundry.
Yeah, it was really easy.
I always have respect for anybody that finds something out of the box to make money.
Oh, dude.
Like, we have a lady that wraps Christmas gifts in town. And I thought, that's fucking smart. You
There's
know?
somebody in Archer City does Christmas trees, like the really cutesy, don't touch this Christmas trees. But yeah, I don't know how I started doing that.
I always have respect, though. If you find a way to
make
make a
good
living, and that's right, because guys will pay for somebody for that.
Yeah,
If
'cause-
there's people in town right now that don't have a fucking job, I can't find no work. You start doing fucking laundry for people. You
and
could
fold it
Yes.
and then send it back. And the baseball guys would have white uniforms and or like practice gear uniform or whatever, and I'd get the stains out, and they were like, "Oh, how'd you do that?" Like it was magic or something. I was like, "There's this little thing called laundry soap.
That's a
It's
lost
pretty
art
good."
nowadays.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck
But
yeah, it
I'll tell
is.
you one time
At band camp.
I found a what's that damn
OxyClean.
flesh things
Fleshlight.
that I found
What?
it in one of the baseball players' laundry basket. I guess he had tossed it in there
I thought
to
it was a flashlight.
he tossed it in there to hide it, I guess, like in his laundry
right.
basket or something. I don't know the whole deal. And so I wigged out. I was like, "Don't you ever fucking put that in your goddamn laundry again. I'll fucking whoop your ass."
I've never even seen one in person.
He gave. I wish I'd never did. I'll tell you that. And then he gave me extra money on that.
Have you ever seen one in
Don't
person?
tell anybody. And here I am, like
Right.
this one time.
Yeah.
No, but you know,
name's
y'all
Bob
remember
Smith.
a few years ago where the judge got caught with a penis pump underneath his desk?
No.
Y'all don't remember? Oh yeah,
Here?
you can pull it up. It'll be on there. During
No,
court,
I was the judge
during
here.
court,
I just retired.
no,
No, it was not here.
judge with penis pump.
Judge
yeah.
with penis pump?
Anyway, he had it underneath his
While
deal.
he's in court?
While he was in court, if I remember correctly. But anyway, we were talking about the story one
gosh.
day. And what was funny, this cowboy that was helping me, yeah, and that was one of them GSX 7.4s. They're not really that good. He needs his GSX 7.5. He knew all about them. That one will help you.
Specifications.
Yeah.
Judge who used penis pump, he lost his pension. Poor guy.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Oklahoma Judge Donald Thompson busted for using penis pump during trial.
How can you? I
His
gotta
last
just
name
use-
is Johnson.
Yeah, do you, Thompson.
Oh, okay.
How are you sitting in court and you're that bored?
Yeah.
Between
Oklahoma.
dockets.
That's
Gotta
You know
be a
what?
mistrial,
I'm gonna
right?
get a little stretch on my
Oh,
penis
yeah.
real quick.
If
Interesting
he only
take,
keep a
yeah.
straight face.
Yeah, he wasn't
Yeah.
paying attention. There it
Excuse
is.
me, what?
15 times.
Oh my gosh.
Look at
What's your
that.
fuse?
Cut his pension off. Poor bastard.
Oh, I thought. I
$8,000
read that
a month.
quickly and I said, penis cut.
Because his pervy behavior violated his judicial oath.
Yeah, they do have an oath. I didn't say anything in my oath that said anything about using a penis pump, but I think it was in some of that other language
Yeah.
that you could figure.
Good moral character.
When
Yeah.
we're talking about lesbians and college sports and stuff, I want your opinion. I know your opinion because I read yours all the time. I want your daughter's opinion on this.
All right.
Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark is the best thing happened to girls' sports in forever.
totally agree,
And
yeah.
I am anti-girls' sports. I can't stand them. I like girls' softball. I love girls' softball.
Yeah.
Girls' basketball, I don't care about. I have watched 5 WNBA games, at least part of this year, just to watch her play. That's it. I'm going through a TV and it says, "Oh, the Indiana
Yeah.
Fever's playing." Nothing else on. I watch it for a little bit, and I want to see her do good. I think she has been really, really good for girls' sports. She's straight. She's a heterosexual. She's a Christian girl, and I think I think she's really good for young girls. What's your opinion on this?
I totally agree. I mean, I like sports, women's sports and everything. Obviously, I competed my whole life. We were in everything. And I've never even watched a WNBA game. Even when I was in junior high, and that was before softball really became my thing, and I was kind of leaning more towards basketball being my thing, I never watched it then. And yeah,
It's
now
boring. If she's not playing, it's very boring.
statistically, I mean, the statistics of people tuning in just on her games versus all other WNBA games is wild. It's crazy. You can't fight those or argue
Yeah, they
against
had
those
a-
numbers.
20,000.
She averages 20,000. That Reese
Yes.
chick plays
Angel
before
Reese, yeah.
8,000 people a game, and
Hell,
she's
the
like, "Oh, it's
NBA
just as
men's
important."
finals of the night. They had more at that game with a record of 3-20. Out of both teams' record was 3-20, and they had a higher.
Yeah, because I don't think the Boston Garden holds but about 18 or 19,000 people. There's no doubt that the WNBA is not nowhere close to what the
No,
NBA is.
no,
And if
yeah.
it wasn't for the NBA subsidizing it, the WNBA wouldn't even be in business.
Yeah.
But for them, just like the Olympics, and this is where I know that how you feel because I saw your Facebook. For her, leave her off the Olympic team. Is she one of the best 12 players in the world or America? I don't know if she
cares?
is not, but she's the most popular. And a guy like me, I might have watched the Olympics to see if she was playing. Otherwise, I'm out. I'm not going to watch the Olympics anyways, probably. I don't give a shit about watching track and field. It just doesn't, anything that's exciting to me. So, but why would you get rid of the most popular thing in your sport? That would be like having the deal and saying,
Leaving Michael Jordan.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and Michael Jordan
I don't
didn't have
get
to
it.
play on one of those
Yeah.
teams. They still would have won without him.
Yeah.
But he's there, and so it draws a crowd. And I don't get that, and I don't understand why everybody's.
But they have got a beef against this poor
Oh,
girl. Like
And it's not a color deal either.
No,
because
no,
there's a
they-
bunch of white girls that are playing.
Oh, ESPN the other day had their ranking of the top 5 or the top 10 rookies.
She
And
wasn't
she's
even on it?
number 6.
Really?
Well, today
Yeah.
she was number 1. I looked at the
And
head
all of
today.
her statistics are double what everybody on the list is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you see that one girl checker?
Oh,
She's
yeah.
just standing there, and
Oh,
one girl
yeah.
comes up full speed, just
Yeah,
calls her
I mean,
a bitch.
there's so much jealousy.
Well, if it's the
and
same one I'm thinking
resentment.
of, that girl, something Kennedy.
Yeah, she's been kicked off.
She's been kicked off. She actually got.
She got
She
a
got
history of it.
drafted, and then before the season even started, I think she got kicked off, and then she had to play over in Europe. She played in that league over there, then came back, and yeah.
I think she's pretty much a punk.
Yeah.
Now, Nancy Lieberman, y'all don't even know who Nancy Lieberman is, I know. Do you remember who she is?
Yeah.
She is the first chick to try to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think she's a hardcore carpet muncher. I mean, big time Dock City girl. And she says, Caitlin Clark needs to stand up and pop that bitch right in the face.
Yeah.
She goes, stand
I
up for
think so,
herself.
too.
And I agree with that. Michael Jordan, he got fucking bullied around by a little bit. He was just that good. But they've done
Well,
the
in the
same.
league, that was
Yeah.
protocol for that league.
But that was normal. If you got a guy that's like Caleb Williams is going to come up for the Bears, and whether he's a bust or not, they're going to try to bust his ass. The other team is.
See, but I think it's different for basketball because she was just playing college. Like, how long has she been out? She
a month. Yeah.
So I mean,
2
there-
months.
you had the draft with the NFL. You had the draft in April, and you got a couple months to kind
Right.
of let that shit die down. Whereas Caitlin Clark went from being the best
Oh, yeah.
college player, and now she's going up against these bitches that are like, all right, let's see how fucking good you really
And I
are.
don't have no problem with that.
No, I don't either. But it's
that
it's
Kennedy
fresh
girl
on their
knocking her
mind.
ass out, I don't
See,
get
I
it.
don't either. She's going to have to prove her worth, but
Yeah,
that's part of
fucking-
it.
that's
But it's fresh. It's fresher on their minds than it is
Right.
Caleb Williams, who's you've had 4 months and now you've
Yeah.
gone through training camp. It's like you were here last week and now you're at the fucking show, and let's see how good you are.
And those other girls, Caitlin Clark just played 35 games of college basketball. Right. These other girls have been off for 6 months,
Yeah.
getting their vaginas stretched by other women. I mean, they've been busy, and now they're having to play. And she hasn't had a break. The other day she had off for 5 days and she scored 30 points. The game before that she scored 3 points. I wish her the best. I think she's good for the sport.
one I
She's
hate
brought
on
people
there
in.
is Brittany Griner.
That's not no Brittany.
She is goddamn condemned to USA. We suck.
Yeah, until you're stuck in Russia.
Did you see her picture with no shirt playing basketball in her backyard?
That's not a woman.
No, and I read it. I read an interesting deal last night on this, and sometimes I get the rabbit holes I get down.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking about her. Said that she's not the one that wanted to pretend to be a woman. Her mother, as a boy, dressed her as a woman the whole time and made her pretend to be a little girl. They made her play college or basketball as a boy, as a girl, because her mom wanted her to be a girl. I don't know how true that is or not, but I saw pictures of her with no shirt on, playing in her backyard in her swimming pool. She ain't got no scars around her titties. Let me tell you something. I got bigger man boobs than that bitch does.
Yeah.
She's got a better 3 than you do, though.
She's got a lot better 3 and a better Adam's apple than me also. And then a guy
Got
calls
a real deep voice.
Yeah. Then a
And I
guy,
don't give a shit. I don't think but I take offense when you start cussing the United States.
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I think it's good.
They
Caitlin,
benefit
And then
from
beg
that.
to get bailed out.
Caitlin Clark has been good for the little girls. I've got a granddaughter that's 10 years old that loves basketball and plays soccer. She's a very, very good athlete. Very good athlete. And Dylan absolutely loves Caitlin Clark and has for 2 years. You know what? It's good for her. I would much rather her be her role model than one of them lesbian chicks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather her have Caitlin Clark as a role model than Taylor Swift. Girls don't have a lot of role models, and it's Taylor Swift or Caitlin Clark. I'd much rather Caitlin Clark. Have you seen the rumor now that Taylor Swift's knocked up?
Oh, really?
Yeah, rumor
Good
right
for
now
her.
she's 3 or 4 months pregnant.
Good
It's
for
not
her.
good because we got some friends of ours that are going to see her in about 5 or 6
Oh,
months.
she'll be able to dance. She'll be all right.
But what do you think
She'll
about
hit
the
all high
Swifties?
notes.
The Swifties?
Yeah, the Taylor Swift movement.
I don't know. I never really. I don't have anything against Taylor Swift. Like,
I don't
you know
either.
what I mean?
But
Like,
do you think she's a good role model for girls though?
I don't know. I don't follow her well enough. I don't think she's our worst.
No,
I mean, if I'm gonna put
I'd rather her
up
than
against, like,
Madonna or
Cardi B or like Madonna
or
or
Britney
something.
Spears.
Oh, God love her.
Yeah, she's fucking up big time.
Yeah, she's having a rough go.
Her
of it.
daddy needs to be in charge of her shit again. She is
Absolutely.
legit. She legitimately fucking cray.
There is a reason he has. Yeah. Hey, my wife, me and her, we've gotten arguments over that. And she, well, God dang, if they'd have done the stuff what did they do to her? They kept her in check. They kept her. And well, of course now she's seen some of the videos. Yeah, I think that bitch is crazy.
You've known some crazy women.
Oh yeah.
And the fucking way crazy. That bitch is out there too. She's that cray.
She needs medication.
big time. And she, God bless her. I stay on her Instagram just because I can't turn it off. But the videos that she does at dancing and pulling her little twattis hair, their little deal dance when she ain't got no twattis hair and stuff. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, I ain't got an Instagram.
You'd love her IG. This is the kind of shit all the time.
It's like every night she just does this fucking. She's got them where she has knives and shit.
Yeah,
and,
she's overdressed on this one.
But you can look at her eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in a different
See how
place.
she pulls her. She does it in bikini too. Pulls it all the way down to the lips. She's crazy.
She's out there. And I used to think she was the fucking best thing on earth. Like,
I loved her too.
If I'm alone in a room and she's got me in a chair and she's doing that shit, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. Gonna be trouble.
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find one of her with the knives.
I used to think she was the sexiest little thing in the whole world.
God,
you're 32 years old and this little 18-year-old girl in the schoolgirl deals.
Oh yeah,
you're like, woo.
that schoolgirl video.
Yeah.
Now.
I'd be curious to. I don't know. I think her big dive of like going off the deep end and everything was after she had her kids, and then paparazzi. Because think about the paparazzi back in the day. Like, it's not as big of a thing now, because if you say, for example, Lindsay Lohan wanted to like promote herself, like she doesn't have to call the paparazzi and be like.
No, they can do it themselves.
Yeah, they post it on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, X, whatever it is. And do it themselves. Back in the day, like some people did have to like call the paparazzi and like tip them off to their own stuff.
They wanted the attention. Now it's there.
But then if you were like an A-lister like Britney, they were all up in your face. I cannot imagine living like that. And then, to have her two sons are like Irish twins back to back, and you can tell timeline wise, like if you look at it, she went off the deep end after that and I think she had like some severe postpartum depression or something.
She's not the only one.
But
Lohan, what's that? Amanda
Bynes.
Huh?
Amanda Bynes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Several of them girls.
Here we go.
The
Knives.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at them coon eyes. That bitch is crazy.
Look at that dog.
Like,
The dog's like, fuck,
again?
Mom's doing it again.
What the hell's that?
fucking dog.
And then she's got pictures of her on the
Really
beach
cutting.
with no clothes on.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got a little star
It's
or something.
sad.
I mean, she's legitimately fucked up. Taylor Swift's a whole lot better of a role model than she is.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Taylor Swift. I don't care about listening to her music. And,
Right.
And it's just like when Elvis Presley came out. He was a horrible thing. Then Kiss came out when I was a kid. Oh, they're terrible. They're Satan worshipers. They're this and that and stuff. So I don't really buy into all this stuff with all these singers.
I
and
wouldn't
stuff.
call her bad, but I also I've never liked a musician or actor, actress, or anything team that much to just be like.
They shouldn't influence your
fanatic.
life.
And yes, exactly. Like I've never. Oh, I don't know, and not really anybody in our family has.
She's a liberal.
Now she is. Now what would be neat is if Taylor Swift came out and let's say she's knocked up by Travis Kelce and we're assuming it's going to be his baby. They're dating, and she gets married and she says, "You know what? I'm done singing. I'm going to be a mom." That would be one of the best things happen to young girls to say, "You know what? It's okay to get married and have a kid."
Yeah.
Instead of acting like it's a bad
What's
thing.
probably going to happen is she's going to get an abortion. Because she's a liberal, and they believe in that.
I'm not denying anything you just said. We just got demonetized on YouTube by saying that, but I agree with you.
Why do we? Why do people think she's pregnant?
She's got a little one of them bellies he was talking about a minute ago, and I did.
Oh.
Look at that picture of her. There's a picture if you look up Taylor Swift possible pregnancy picture. She got a good Budweiser
Just
pooch
been
on
bloated.
her. She was really bloated. She
It
had
could have just been
Just a period.
a bunch of cabbage for sure if she had that. She's bloated pretty good. I mean,
Then also,
the other thing with me seeing, also
bean burrito.
seeing those things nowadays, though, is there's so much stuff you can do with Photoshop. I don't really believe anything on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but she definitely.
I didn't know that there was a picture.
There's a picture of her, and she obviously looks like she's knocked up a little bit. A lot more than your wife did.
It's funny you say that. It's like that Biden picture of him, over there at the 80th deal, and they talking about him trying to reach for a chair and taking a dump.
Yeah.
A visible chair. Well, then I seen another video where
There was a chair.
Yeah, it was a chair.
Yeah.
So.
No, this is
you
just
can't believe anything.
No, this is a picture of her from the side, and her profile. It does look, because I saw it and I thought, boy, she don't look like she looked in a bikini like 2 months ago. I saw her with Travis Kelce, and it could be just a bad picture. There could have been wind blowing
It
up.
could have been the opposite, and that's what she really looks like. And the other one was face tuned or photoshopped or whatever.
Other thing I want to touch real quick, and Clay, you'll be a big fan of this if you've got it. Have you seen this Coco Bongo fucking nightclub that's in Cancun? They do this.
No, I never will.
You'll look at the videos though. These videos come up and they've got these guys and they're doing he's dressed like the Mask. Hold on. And all these girls come up on stage and they give them tequila shots, and they've got these air deals that blow their dresses up all the time. And these women, these drunk women in Cancun go up to this bar all the time. It's a big thing now. It's all over the place. I never even heard of this place. I've seen the nightclub before. We've drove by it. But it's called Coco Bongo in Cancun. And they've got them in like 6 or 7 different towns. And it's they put this nightclub deal where everybody goes and dances. I thought it was just
when
bar.
you're done, they put you in a taxi cab and they take you out into the jungle.
Your dad is no fun to travel with.
Knew he was going that
my
way.
buddy had his wedding out there, I think 2 years ago, and they got kidnapped, on their anniversary.
Really?
Yeah, they got in a cab over there at Cancun and going back to the resort. They were all shopping, and they got in their cab. Everybody else got, and their cab went the wrong way, went out into the jungle, and all of a sudden, they're trying to tell him, "Hey, stop, motherfucker!" They get 12 miles out there. They have to jump out of the cab while it's going. When it got to a hairpin curve, slowed down enough, and then they had to hide in the woods and finally made it back to town. And one couple they found that spoke Spanish. They told the laws, he said, he won't go back.
Have you seen the video of since it's Pride Month, the 2 gay guys that take the wrong turn in the Yucatan Peninsula, and they end up at a checkpoint that's done by the drug cartel? And this guy's like, "Oh, please don't kill me, please. We're so sorry. We haven't seen nothing." And this guy's like bawling, "Oh my God, oh my God." And this guy's like, and the drug dealer's like, he's like, "Listen, guys,
yes,
it's gonna be okay. Just turn around. Please, we hadn't seen nothing at all. Just let us go. We won't tell nobody nothing, please. We're from Detroit." I mean, they're like fully animated about this shit. And the guy's like, "Listen."
I think I'd be pretty scared too.
And he tells his buddy, he said, just let them go. He tried not to laugh. "We're not after you guys." Oh, thank you so much.
And then they killed them 3 surfers.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Australians or something like that.
In Mexico?
Yeah, that was somewhere in.
You're
He's
going
over
there in
about
like 3
Baja
weeks.
Peninsula.
Yeah, but where I'm going, it'll be safe. You were just where I was.
That's what they all say. Yeah.
No,
He was just he said in Cancun?
no, they killed those people in. I think it was in Sonora. I think they were on the west coast of Mexico, like somewhere
Baja.
Mazatlan or one of those places over there on the other side. They were on the west coast. We're going to go we're going to Isla Mujeres. It's safe there. Now I got to get to Isla Mujeres.
That's why they have them alerts.
We're going to go to Switzerland. There's a damn good chance that some fucker pulls a Swiss Army knife on us, and I ain't going to fucking ruin our thunder for there. We're going to go there and have a good time.
Is it this one, Jeff?
Yes.
Which
Yes,
I go straight or right?
And one says like, "Leave, go," and then the other's like, "No."
That's not right. I guess straight. I don't know either. Just pick
Oh,
one.
Lord.
I'll go straight.
I'd probably be
Bike
just
on
as
this
scared.
road, so there must
Oh, I
be
would be too.
civilization somewhere over here. Looks like there's a town up here.
Why are you going? I ain't scared of nothing.
I've got
to.
Jesus. Go. No. Please.
He probably saved their life.
Please.
Gringo.
Please,
Yeah.
what?
He's going
Please,
down.
what?
He's going
No,
down.
please.
You can tell who the bottom
just
is.
want-
But what's sad is that would probably be me and Jim.
Yeah, I would be.
Oh, Jim, talk your way out of it. Worky magic.
Four.
¿Dónde vas?
I'm trying to figure out which one's Jeff and which one's me.
Please.
No problem, okay?
Not to pass out.
No
That's Jeff right there.
problem, okay?
I told him not to go down this road. Oh, I told him not to go down this road.
Well done.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I done shit out all that semen.
I think I'm the drug dealer.
Please, please,
Yeah,
please.
no, okay. Hey,
He
no.
like put his hand on it.
Easy.
No pasa nada, no pasa nada.
No problem. Hey,
Okay.
Okay.
I've seen the movies. They still shoot them like here sometimes.
I don't fucking trust you, buddy.
Just go on.
We're gonna see mi madre.
Me
goes to his
madre.
mom.
where?
Cancun.
You? Easy, no problem.
It says this
No
was the last
problem.
time he ever decided to go straight. Top comment.
He's shaking his head. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd be fucking balling fucking
fuck
too.
yeah, me too.
I always tell Michelle every time we're in Mexico, I said, listen, this is the reality of the
Act
situation.
cool.
I said, you're a good looking gal. If we get abducted by the cartels, they're going to shoot my fat ass pretty quick.
Real quick.
They are going to
No
use
hesitation.
you up for a while. So just remember that, okay?
No hesitation.
I don't want you mad at me when they kill my ass at first, okay? And your 10 days of business shit, okay?
There's a movie, fuck, I can't remember what it,
Wrong turn.
no, but it was an old, it's not an old Western movie, it's a newer Western movie, but they're about to get taken over by Indians, and the guy's like listen.
He shoots the chick.
He tells her, he said, because there's two other women in the cart. He said, there's 3 bullets in here. He said, if I go down, you shoot them 2, and then you shoot yourself in the head, because it's going to be way better than what those Indians are going to do to you.
Well, I just watched a movie yesterday. Matter of fact, it was what the hell was it? But anyway, there was a lady and her son in a wagon, and cowboys riding along with them. I don't know what his connection was, but anyway, they got attacked by Indians, and the cowboy just hauls off like he's going to leave them.
Yeah.
And then the lady's going, please don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. Oh my gosh, she's in hysterics. So the cowboy turns and comes back. He's coming, the little boy, and then she goes, oh, thank you. He goes, boom, he shoots her, and he grabs that boy and says, get on. He said, we ain't got a chance to get away with that with her. On there we go.
Right.
Yeah, he winds up getting killed too. But
This is a tough life. You know, the Indians would, whatever you would do to them, they would do something worse to you, but they didn't take it personal. So, like, if you killed a kid in the deal, they say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go kidnap a kid from your tribe. We're going to cut his intestines out and let him bleed to death. So, him walk through the desert and die, and you'll fucking hurt and die. And then so they say, okay, they did that shit. We're going to cut his eyeballs out and his tongue off and leave him out there to die, starve to death. And they'd be like, okay, you know, it was no big deal. So no matter how bad you done something to you, they just do something worse to you. And they didn't take anything personal. Just a really, that was a very, you know, everybody always wants to act like the Indians just all got along in peace and harmony before the
No.
white man got here.
hell no.
And that's fucking as bad. They treated each other as bad as anyone else in the history has ever treated another person that they kidnapped, they raped, they tortured. That was part of their normal code every day. Each tribe, and there are some tribes that were more
I don't know. that
sophisticated, but they were
that
bad.
fucking German tribe was pretty bad. They cooked you.
No, but it was the same type deal though.
6
But
million of them.
You can go from the time of Adam and Eve to when we first started
yeah.
having battles. People have been mean to each other, and evil has been lurking since day one. Hitler took it to another level. I'll give
Yeah.
you that much. There's
Yeah,
no
he
doubt
was
about
special.
it. But I mean, that's not the first person to ever do anything like that.
No.
I think Genghis Khan did that.
Yeah, that's what I say. You know, everybody, you know, like everybody, every group, race,
Yeah.
creed has had terrible shit going since the beginning of time. It's, you know, and that's like slavery. It ain't the first time, you know, we ever had slavery. You know, I seen a hell of a deal the other day. It has a statistic on how many. It was like 1.6% of the population owned slaves back during slavery days.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1.6%. So now we're all supposed to pay retribution for that 1.6.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's
It's the Homesman with Tommy Lee Jones, so it's got to be good, right?
Whatever we got, if they think we're worth the trouble, we're dead. Something happens to me, you get in a wagon quick as you can. You shoot the women in the head and then shoot yourself.
You know, he seems like a good guy. But I
Tommy
bet
Lee
he's.
Jones?
I bet he's just.
I tell you a funny story.
He's a Knox County boy.
I know, but he
he really?
He seems like he's born in Benjamin.
He has
Or raised in
his
Benjamin.
name on coffee vending machines all over Japan.
Really?
Yeah, Boss, BOSS.
My dad sold him a bunch of cattle. Mm-hmm. This is a funny story. Sold him a bunch of cattle, and this is like during the 80s when they had Superior Video, and my dad was with them. And so my dad filmed these cattle. Tommy Lee called him and said, hey, I want to buy them cattle, but I really need a better video of them. Do you give me a better video? And the cattle were all down at Albany, or not Albany, Alpine. Yeah, I'll call them boys, tell them, send another tape. So he calls them guys, tell them, hey, them guys need a little better video of them bring his cows you want to buy. And he goes, okay. So they filmed him a deal, and they sent it to my dad. My dad sends it to Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee calls my dad. He goes, hey, Warren, he said, I'm going to buy them cattle on one condition. He said, what's that? He goes, I get all rights to that tape. My dad's like, to the tape? He goes, yeah, I don't give a fuck. He goes, so you're giving me all rights to the tape? Yeah, I don't give a shit. He goes, okay, and now I'm going to tell you why. He said, I had some big old Hollywood guys show up over here, producers, and all that. We was talking about it, and I wanted to show them my new set of cows that I was going to buy. And he said, so I put in that VCH or VHS tape in there. We started going, and they showed the tails, and then all of a sudden, the cow deal went off. But what had happened, them old boys had filmed them cattle, and they're just driving around, a bunch of guys, filmed their cows, and they did it. Well, then they put that camcorder down in between the deal, but they didn't turn it off. So for the next 2.5 hours, they got to listen to all the whores they'd screwed, all the men they had fought, and every goofball story. And it's kind of like a podcast within a podcast.
Right, yeah.
And they got over and said, me and them guys laughed for 2.5 hours. He said, I want the tape. So they sold him the tape, sold him the cow, and has them guys blackmailed for the rest of their life.
All right, Andy's got to get to jiu-jitsu.
No, I'm good. We can keep it. Reese is already there, but y'all got to go.
Yeah, and Andy's got jiu-jitsu.
I got to go
to
get my ass kicked, my weekly ass kicking appointment.
Haley, I appreciate you so much for being on here.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
I love your dad to death. He's one of a kind. Your dad is one of the most ornery men there is in the whole world. I knew your dad from when I was in my high school days. I didn't like being anywhere around him because he made me fucking nervous because he was always going to want to fight somebody or do some shit there, and I was always a big guy. And I thought,
Did you ever see him fight? Did you ever?
No, I watched that Golden Gloves. On
You never were
YouTube.
at like Brahms or anything, and somebody came up and
heard all the stories.
But the funny thing about it is everyone that talks about your dad now talks about him giving what he's done for youth, and I appreciate that so much. You're a very good role model to kids, and you're a good role model to regular kids. Kids that the underdog kid.
Yes.
You're a good role model for, and we need it. And God bless you, and I appreciate you doing that so much.
I appreciate it.
You're a good guy.
At least I ain't a crackhead. It's always a plus.
You had all
That is
the
a good
makings
thing.
of it.
and you got that fighter pilot blood crossed over
right.
into your gene pool now.
vigor.
Hybrid
And
vigor.
hybrid vigor. Yeah.
We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, it's what old Jimmy the Greek, he talked about it. Yeah.
You gotta have
he
it.
got shit canned.
Yeah, but you got to. You got to add some good semen into the bloodline.
That's right.
All right. Thank y'all for coming out.
All right.
Be safe going back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
God bless
guys.
y'all. Have a safe weekend. Peace. Bye.
Watch for deer.
You don't do